Well, I don't know if this is working, but can we hear it? Yeah, we can hear, but we can't see shit. How come shit's not coming up? Hmm? That's the question. Oh, wait. Maybe? It's working now? Okay. There we go. That looks good. Okay, we're ready to go. Yep. Yep, we're ready to go. Cool. Hey, you guys ready to work? Okay. So, sure. Da 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 da. Yeah, okay. We're working good. Okay. Right. Let's get to it. Oh, what do we need? We need a Sprite, a sugar. Two types of cereal. Dun, 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 dun. Cheese. We gotta pay bills. We got a loan payment, don't we? No? Okay, we're good there. Bills, we're good. Okay. So just spending money. Okay, okay. Milk. Other kind of cheese. Yogurt and butter. Where the fuck are they? There it is. faster. What else do I need here? Large eggs. One beer and a potato. This is what the people want right here. The ketchup. That's what the people want. Alright. job, boys. Good job. Need to move the borax over still. Jesus Christ. Thirsting for the shampoo. I know that. Sorry about that. Get on that shampoo for I think we're gonna open now, guys. You ready? Let's get to work. Alright, let's see. Excuse me. Just give me a second here. As I add a... Uh-oh. No. Alright, we want to add a display capture. Put down here. Like that. This up here. There we go.
Buckethead show, Buckethead. Howdy, Buckinghamers. Today is St. Patrick's Day, and I just found out I am 3% Irish, which means I'm celebrating. And I have a special surprise for those out there that might be missing an old friend of the channel. Look who we have here.
Hey.
It's Pawpaw. We haven't seen Pawpaw on the channel for a year and a half. I heard he won the lottery, became a millionaire, lost it all, and now he's back here.
Yeah, if it costs a nickel to shit, I'd have to throw up.
We gotta get you in your St. Patrick's Day attire. I bought you some garbs to wear. We got you a pair of handy dandy suspenders. We got you a classic Irish hat, and look, it comes with lights. Yeah.
Sock it to me.
But you realize it's been since September of 2021 since we've done a video together.
You're lovely, you know. What size bra do you wear?
That's a very inappropriate question.
Want to touch on any of your health issues?
Not really. I mean, I've had a few things. Not an ability to have sex anymore. I got one of them pump things.
He's
It's
rocking
not
this,
true.
guys.
No, it's not true. You just turned 82
Fucking do
last
it.
month, and
82.
you are doing better than ever. How does it feel to be 82,
Fucking
Papa?
You know, I really
Do
don't
it.
feel any different than I did when I was 42. I don't have to wear any diapers. I've gained a little bit of weight. I can still see, too. An arm wrestle or something?
I don't.
Ah, hell no.
So today we're gonna go down into Baltimore. a
There we
place
go,
that I
there we
don't
go.
Go to because I don't like cities.
There we go,
But we're gonna
there we
celebrate
go.
with the people of the town because it's
I'm
St.
gonna be
Patrick's Day.
louder
We wanna
than
spread
the-
some cheer.
There we go.
We don't need
Oh,
a
sorry,
gun.
sorry,
We
sorry,
have to
sorry,
go to
sorry, sorry.
Baltimore.
They got the guns
sorry,
down there.
sorry,
So
sorry,
we're
sorry.
gonna we might pick up a bottle of your
That
favorite
is
Irish
$29
Jack
on
Daniels Irish.
debit. Thank you.
He could be today.
Thank you very
Right.
My
much.
objective for this
Thank you.
video, have a good time.
Debit
keep
as
it quick,
well.
keep it
That
casual,
is
celebrate St. Patrick's Day.
$48.
Don't get sick.
Thank you so
He just
much.
graduated from junior high, 16 years old.
Okay,
He got a
okay,
woman
okay.
pregnant at 16. I love your hair.
Thank you.
Objective
Thank you
completed.
so
You have
much. Thank you.
acquired the poison.
Ooh. Okay.
I gotta have a glass of ice.
But now's a great time to advocate safe alcohol consumption and not drinking and driving on this
That's right.
wonderful
No, we're
day.
not doing that. And
Just the candy today, sir?
we're not going to drink and drive either. You know, my
Now
favorite
off to
one
Baltimore.
you've ever done is when you sprayed that stuff in your eyes. And I was reading some little kiddie book to you to kind of keep you from crying.
That was about 3 years ago while I was still a school teacher. My dad pepper sprayed me from about 2 inches from my face. We later read that you're supposed to pepper spray from like 15 to 20 feet away. So the pepper spray beam opened my eyes and immediately just destroyed me and blinded me. And I think on the Buckingham Show playlist of my 109, 110 episode, it's the least viewed episode of all the videos.
Yeah, but it's funnier than any of them to me.
We just hopped out my luxurious 2013 Prius and arrived in Baltimore.
I am glad to be here, aren't you?
It's a wonderful day. Probably the best
Where
day.
are we?
We're in Baltimore.
All right.
Papa was just wondering if the police would arrest an old man for carrying around a handle of Jack in the streets.
This is iced tea.
Would you like some whiskey?
No, thank you.
Have a good day. We're just gonna be friendly all day, right?
Oh,
Hmm?
I know.
How does it feel to be back on the mean streets of Baltimore?
I didn't bring
Baltimore.
it, so I'm not overly comfortable.
Papa's from Texas, so he's used to carrying a gun everywhere he goes.
I got a gun, all right.
Well, so what is St. Patrick's Day about?
Has something to do with a Catholic priest, I think, in Ireland. I don't know exactly.
Maybe we'll ask some people, what is the meaning of St. Patrick's Day?
What is the celebration here? What are we celebrating?
What does it mean?
True Irish people know that, you know, it's about St. Patrick and Ireland, but most people just think it's a day to drink.
Happy St. P!
Is this Halloween or what are we celebrating?
That was a good guzzle, my God. What does St. Patrick's Day mean to you?
I've
Hell
recently
yeah.
moved to US, so I'm just.
Oh, we better go then.
Oh,
Okay. Hey, happy St. Patrick's Day.
Amen. Welcome to Fells Point. My name is Mr. Kevin James Upper Brown Jr. Come here, Buster Fells Point, Guardian Angel. Honored to have you here. Another day for Jesus, another day for Father.
What
Who
the
is
fuck?
St. Patrick, anyway?
Oh, sorry, sir. Sorry, sorry, sorry.
Hard working man, just like you. Just like you, just like you. Amen. Great.
Hey, God bless, brother. We already met the Guardian Angel of Fells Point. That's good.
Oh, you are a tough gal. I'm gonna have a sip myself.
What does St. Patrick's Day mean to you?
It is a fun day to drink and celebrate Irish culture.
What about the snakes that were expelled?
I believe there was somebody who, I don't know, played an instrument of some sort. He got all of the snakes out of the town.
When I drink a little bit, I sound like I got mashed potatoes in my mouth. You hadn't had one yet.
No, but I don't like cooties.
So,
hold your hand out.
I used to live in Ireland. I took jig dancing classes, and I used to speak Gaelic.
How old do you think he is?
oh my God, how old? 40? You look great.
I had his mother, my wife had her when she was like 13 years old.
No, she didn't.
Wait, what are you talking
No.
about?
Yeah.
No.
And I was only 10 years old when I got her pregnant. Just turned 82.
Sexy 82. It looks great on you.
You guys are great. I'll have to
Yeah, it was
tell
great
you.
to meet you guys.
All three of them.
Stop.
Good to see you.
Are you flirting with me?
I'll be your daddy. I am a virgin.
I love you, Brandon. Great job. So, like and subscribe.
St. Patrick.
Huzzah.
Huzzah!
I'll clean this off for you.
Amanda.
I'm looking for a lady friend. Are you a
Papa,
lady?
you have
I'm not a lady though. No need. Just Valentine's Day?
It's Valentine's Day if you give her a kiss on the cheek. She'll take it.
What does St. Patty's Day mean to you? The snakes attacking the potatoes?
I
The story?
I don't know what the.
What caused the potato famine? What about the potato famine? Who messed with the potatoes?
What happened to the snake?
But are you trying to hold my hair back later?
No. Papa's pro polyamory.
Do what?
Do you guys have any fun events that have happened today on St. Patrick's Day?
No. I was at work all day.
In there, get it in there, yeah. How's that whiskey feel? Brother, you just got roofied. Is that too much? I violated. Hey, I'll go, then you go.
Y'all do know who this? Y'all know who this guy is?
Oh, sorry.
29.50, sir. Thank you so much. Oh, big ball, eh?
Wait, do you know, how old are
All
you?
the
21?
pork.
21.
All the
I'm
pork.
82, and you look pretty good to me.
105, please.
Papa's actually only been with black women.
Have you ever had a chocolate woman?
Yes.
chocolate woman.
No, he
Give me
does.
the keys to the car. No, come on, let's go.
Can you pay my bills? Can you pay my
My
telephone
God.
bills? Can you pay my automobiles? Then maybe we can chill.
Papa loves black women.
Would you go to the car with me?
He's like David Goggins, he stays hard.
Just giving out free
Yeah, St. Patty.
Fucking right.
Hey, what does it mean to you, brethren?
For a share.
For several people, my God.
Patrick!
Patrick!
You just walked out of the bar with a handle and jack.
That's how we do it. Drinking Jack Daniels with my grandpa.
Oh my God.
First got here, we didn't even know what St. Patrick was.
Well, we've learned a lot.
Now, I can tell you, I can teach a class.
Fells Point, Maryland.
Patty.
Represent.
It's not too hard.
Okay, somebody say ready, go.
Ready, go.
Oh, no, I
Why are we
can't,
doing this?
do it.
Well, you're smoking that gas right now, bro.
You like some?
Do we want some reefer? Me and Papa will smoke reefer and just start staring at the trees and wonder if the bark is moving.
I wonder if I can fly.
Cheers to wonderful times and the beautiful St. Patrick's Day. Thank you.
You're from where?
Dundee in Scotland.
Scotland, mate.
Yeah, mate, I'm from
I
Scotland.
just got my DNA test done.
Oh,
I am
thank you.
predominantly Scottish, 35% Scottish.
Wow, okay.
You realize if I'm predominantly Scottish, you're pretty Scottish.
I know, I'm pretty Scottish for sure. Hey, hold on a minute. Oh, look at that. Come on, come here. Let me tell you, I'm 82 years old,
Okay.
and I have never had sex with a beautiful black girl.
We need to fulfill this fantasy, I'm thinking.
And you're the most beautiful thing that's ever been on the camera.
What's happening?
Cassie needs this.
Papa, it's time to test.
What the fuck?
I'm ready.
So you could bet on pretty much anything on this website if you wanted to.
Hmm.
So
NBA, I like that.
we're gonna head on over to the freaking casino in the comfort of our own home.
Let's do it.
Should we run some freaking slots?
Mhm.
Woohoo!
Let's go somewhere else.
Let's hop on to blackjack. Let's deal.
All right.
Queen face card. All right, we got 13 face and 6.
Shit. You can't hardly stand there. Hit me.
21. Woohoo! And he hit 20.
Tough shit. We won.
Let's go 400 now.
All right, let's do it.
Face 20. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. No. Never insure. It's a scam. You You He's gonna bust so hard. He's gonna bust so bad. Don't you motherfucking do that to me!
Blackjack.
Can I get a break? Can I catch a break? We need
Mhm.
please, please. Yes! Oh man, now we're back.
How do you put money in there? How do you play?
So if you've never used this site before, you can just go to deposit now, and then you can use code Buckingham if you're a new user, and you get 10% on any deposit, $50 to $200. Other deals, they'll match you, like if you put in 100, we give you 100, but there's something called a rollover where you have to bet that money like 30, 40 times before you can pull anything out. So I chose, when I partnered with this company, to just give me a 10% boost so my guys can just bet it once and pull out. The only issue with this site is if you try to deposit money and it doesn't work, you have to enable international bank transactions on your bank, which seems a little bit sketchy, but once you do it, it works like a charm.
Use code Buckingham, sign up today.
All right, Papa, well, let's get back to watching you motorboat this black woman.
Huh?
What's happening?
Because he needs this. You need a big tit Ebony in your life. We're going to be best
Will
friends.
you go back to the car, man?
What the hell?
He's 82 from Texas. Let's bridge the racial gap.
Oh, absolutely. I'm a millennial. You were
You
born
can turn him into your little boy servant.
You know what I can do?
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Big Tick Ebony. I'm going to drink some Jack, though. Okay, cheers.
Back on to Jack.
I'm 82. It's been 10 years since I've had sex.
Okay.
Wait, and would it be a challenge to you to try to do something?
Papa.
We're sure we want this on YouTube.
I'm sorry.
What's your will worth?
My will says I got like $843, and it's all yours, darling.
I got to go after that.
You're the greatest thing that's been by here today.
Thank you.
I can agree with that too.
Thank you.
I've ever seen anybody as beautiful as you. I
Papa,
never
because
have.
black women
All
are the
over,
most
I want to touch
epic.
you so bad.
They are the
You
most
would not. And I would
They are the
rub
most
you all
beautiful,
over, God almighty.
melanated beings on
would
this earth.
In a
We
heart.
make
All right. I gotta remove the mic from this situation. He's a good man. He's a good man. Okay? And it's St. Patrick's Day, and we're just trying to keep it family friendly. We're advocating safe alcohol consumption. We're advocating safe sexual relations.
I want to know what it is.
It's a lotus. It's a lotus. You know how lotus grow from dirt
I do.
underneath, and it's a beautiful lotus flower? That's me. I'm from.
Hey, happy St. Patrick's Day. Thanks for the great energy.
Thank you.
And we're in for you.
Hell yeah.
Papa, you were getting ahead of yourself there.
What do you mean?
You're really enjoying yourself. If you guys want to see me and Papa do a cross-country RV trip, I've been trying to convince him for like 2 years, but I have the RV now. I have the Papa. If you want to see it,
Chicken.
comment below where you want us to go and
We
what you
gotta
want us
order
to do. I'm trying to
chickens,
convince
man.
this guy to get in the motorhome, take a ride with me, and just start creating content and making memories. If you want to see it happen, drop a comment. I know it's whack to be like, drop a comment, but seriously, let us
Bruh.
know where you want me and Papa to go. I want to take him to the villages.
guy's
in
still
Florida. If you
stalking?
guys have any other good ideas,
Too bad, I can
comment
finish it in the
below. I
morning.
really want to see your comments.
Cool, it doesn't really matter what I do, cause I'll always stay
Okay.
stuck as a fool. I'll never be cool. Don't get what I want, I'm a noob. I'm way lamer than you, I'll never be cool.
Okay, what are we doing now? What are we doing now? We got to
I wanna get past that, but I'm whack and I rap that'll last, always last what an ass hat. And that's just business as usual. No new friends, only more new funerals.
Tom or Jerry, whose side are you on?
Oh, I'm on Tom.
You on Tomcat's side?
Yeah,
You want that little mouse to get eaten up.
yeah.
You're a predator.
No.
Today's guest is visiting from Austin, Texas. He was born in Ohio.
This is a funny thing that's been making me laugh. I was having sex and a lady
Shane
kissed
Gillis
my
is
chest,
funny.
and she happened to suck on a bob. And I noted this. This is too much. So then she thinks that's my thing. And every time she does it, it gets in my head. I'm like, don't. You can't.
I mean, that makes
and
it
then
so much
that makes
harder,
you
dude.
come.
Yeah.
So fast. The second I'm like, don't come. I'm like, oh. So maybe I'm into getting my tits sucked.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Flagrant. And today we're joined by dear friend of the show, just so happens to have the #1 comedy special in the world right now. No big deal. Beautiful dogs. This Shane Gillis over here. This Shane Gillis over here. I know he hates the praise.
Yeah.
So,
No, I appreciate it.
Shane hit me up while he's on his way here. He goes, guys, be nice.
Don't be nasty today.
Don't be nasty
You guys
today.
like when I get
Be nice.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, we
You
do
all
like
live in
we like
smiles, dude.
just
You guys
little
are
tickles.
nasty
We just like
fuckers,
tickles.
dude.
So we're like, listen, we got to make sure that Shane is in a comfortable environment. Let's talk to some of his boys and see what he's into right now, artistically, what he's really vibing with. And O'Connor was like, listen, there's this painting that he's really into. And,
that's very sweet.
Yeah, and what is the Absolution?
Yeah, Gettysburg.
Of Gettysburg.
Yeah.
And we put it up on a TV. Just maybe go to a shot right there where you can see it. Okay. so Shane, would you like to tell what else happened
I'm
afterwards?
so dumb that I got in here and I went, I actually have that painting in my living room. No one on earth has that painting or knows what that is. I actually have that in my living room. Oh, Father Corby in the Irish Brigade?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now, why do you have this great appreciation for Father Corby?
Well, because he became the president of Notre Dame, bro.
Let's fucking go, dude. Go Irish.
You rebuilt it though.
And he was a beast. Yeah, he built it after it burnt down.
Second founder,
He said the only problem was we didn't build it big enough.
Ooh.
Okay. All right, Corby.
Look into him. I think he got a medal. He was out there like, maybe that was him at Fredericksburg that was like giving everybody the last rites. Like during everybody else was getting shot, he was out there.
Just
He's a
piecing them
beast.
up.
Yeah.
Do they?
He's a good guy.
Was there like a respect for the priest who was pieced?
Oh,
So you
sushi.
wouldn't shoot at him, obviously.
Large sushi.
Yeah, that's in the Civil War. No.
Unless you're doing a prank.
If it was against the Japanese,
they would fucking.
They would have done it. Well, that's true.
Just starting out high.
Yeah, for the record, that's true.
Well, maybe they wouldn't know what he's doing. They don't know. They're not Catholic. You know what I mean? So they thought maybe he's a
It's pretty
Almost.
obvious if
They're
a guy
not
without-
Catholic yet.
Guy without a gun's walking around. Yeah, true.
But did we almost get him? I thought Andrew Garfield got over there in one movie.
He went in there.
And
Nagasaki was Catholic.
Really?
That was a Catholic city.
When we were having
Didn't help.
Come on. Imagine the bomb
It did not help.
hits the ocean. You're like,
Oh God! The Japanese sitting there like, there's no way it's gonna be us.
That's
It's
for
gotta-
real.
No.
Yeah, there was a lot of Catholic in Nagasaki that were like, they wouldn't get us.
Yeah, I
We're
mean,
Catholic.
yeah, we're one of them.
Yeah.
So maybe they were just faking it. Maybe they're posers.
It'd be like if 9/11 hit like Elkhart, Michigan, or no, what's that town in Michigan that's all
Oh, Dearborn.
Dearborn.
Dearborn, I think it is.
Why
Yeah,
was Dearborn?
a lot of Middle Eastern people there.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. That's right.
You'd be like, they're not
field.
gonna get us.
And
Yeah.
they did.
Fucking home field, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Anyway,
Fucking Dearborn, man. Shout out to Dearborn.
big shout out.
We were. I remember we were having some delicious beers with O'Connor and Pope, and we got into a very surprising conversation.
Oh, you and me?
Yeah, very surprising conversation. It's not going where you think it's going to go because we haven't had enough alcohol just yet. But I could not believe this came out of your mouth, and this came out of your mouth twice. We had two different conversations about this. You, under your breath, told me that you thought a French general was the greatest of all time.
Napoleon.
Napoleon.
Yeah, dude.
I pay the bills.
No,
Almost the other picture we had
Ulysses.
up right there. I just want to let
Grant's
you know.
the bro, but Napoleon's up
do
there.
you have to say that because of your patriotism? If you actually had to sit down and objectively.
Honestly,
Yeah,
I
if
don't.
you'd be honest, it's Robert E. Lee, right? That's
I mean, he wasn't working with a lot. He wasn't. He did. You know what I mean? He did good with what he had.
Go dogs. Come on, man.
You know.
He was. That's SEC, dude. That's it's a different brand down there. No, they had a couple. Stonewall was nice. Stonewall Jackson, he was an autistic man, clearly.
100%.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I read it.
Sorry about that.
He's got a book. There's a book. The guy who wrote Empire of the Summer Moon. You ever read that about the Comanche?
No.
Oh, it's like the best history book. But he wrote another one about Jackson called Rebel Yell, and it's clearly he's just an autistic guy.
Wait, why? What was he doing?
He hurt his hand or something, and he just always held it up because he was like, I don't want the blood to go down back to where the cut was. So like at all times he was like, people were like, dude, put your fucking hand down. He thought God would decide when he died, so he was not afraid of. He would just stand there. That's how he got his name. Stonewall. They're like, look at him. Look at him. He's just standing there like a stone wall. He was just getting shot at. He was. There was one time when he was in school, one of his commanding officers was like at attention when he walked by him, and then he came by the next day and he was still standing there. He was like, dude, what are you doing? And he was like, I'm not going to disobey your orders. He's like, all right, dude. You're a psycho. Anyway, this isn't exciting.
But that's what
else
need.
do we got? Somebody else.
We had Mark just did a pod with Sebastian Junger.
Yeah.
You know, Perfect Storm and all the rest. And he goes, what did he say? The 3 things you need for an underdog to win a war?
For an underdog to win, you got to have a cause worth fighting for. You got to have a leader willing.
South had that.
Right?
No chores.
Yeah. So that's one. That's one. Secondly, you got to have a leader willing to die.
Stonewall.
Stonewall was ready
yeah,
to go.
Stonewall, yeah, but Robert E. Lee.
Mm-hmm.
What? No. Robert E. Lee was a little scared.
Yeah.
He was a little scary.
He's a coward.
That's what Grant knew.
Grant knew he was soft.
Grant knew he was soft.
Young Bobby Lee.
Yeah.
Yo, honestly,
little Bobby Lee.
Little Bobby Lee was
Grant
a little
served
bit
with
soft.
Bobby in Mexico and saw that he was a little scared.
Tell him.
And then the Civil War started, and all the other generals in the North were afraid
They
of
were
Bobby.
terrified
They're
of
like,
Bobby.
he's the GOAT. This is terrifying. And then
What did Grant say?
And then Grant was like, he's a pussy, dude.
I
He's
saw
just
him cry.
he's just as scared as me. I'm gonna go fuck him up. He's scared too. I'm scared.
I like that it wasn't like he's more scared than everyone.
No,
He was
we're
like,
both scared.
Yeah,
We're
we're both terrified.
Yeah, this
about
sucks.
it. Yeah, fucking. Why are we fighting? And then the third thing you need is you need to have women involved in the war effort. If you want underdogs. to
Yeah,
win.
okay. You lost me with that third one, buddy.
What?
I'm just saying.
What?
That's what Sebastian said, dude.
Is it because more men are willing to enlist when women are just nagging them at home? And they're like, I'd rather fucking get killed at war than sit here and listen to this.
What he was saying is like you need
for them in the factories and shit.
doing anything.
Yeah.
Like around fucking as like nurses, whatever, building shit. You just like lose half your population if you don't have women doing something. So I don't know what the South was doing. They probably didn't have women doing anything.
It might have been too traditional.
Look what happened, dude. Got bodied.
They got rocked.
I can't believe you put Grant over Napoleon, though.
I just like him more.
Why?
Just as a guy.
He's kind of a failure, drunk.
Yeah, that
And then
part.
the war started, and he was like, "Oh, I'm the best." Like he was like working at his dad's like grocery store as like a cashier, and then the war started, and he just became a president.
Oh,
So,
like, he just went
Like
yeah.
on some Churchill shit?
He's
Because
up
wasn't
there.
Churchill retired before?
Yeah, Churchill blew it in World War One.
That's yes,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah.
the
That was
against the
Gallipoli.
Turks.
Yeah, y'all gotta keep filling in gaps because we are not white, so we don't know as much about history. We just don't have the
Yeah.
passion. You guys have.
Yeah. Dude,
Alan, I haven't glanced at
white
each
history is
other
really
I
fun.
don't
Yeah.
know.
You really need to get on board.
You guys are gonna love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, who wants to start with the Civil War for Alex? Anyone want to explain?
A bunch of good guys
Yeah. Got beaten.
lost their lives. What are your thoughts on states' rights?
I had a teacher in middle school teach me that the war was about states' rights.
Yeah, they
They
teach
do.
you that in the
Some
South.
guys do that.
Yeah, but this was in New York.
Yeah.
What the? This white guy with fucking white hair, Mr. Davis, I remember to this day.
Beast,
He was,
Jefferson.
and he was like, yeah, it was not about slavery, it was about states' rights, and he kept on hammering that, and I probably repeated that for another decade.
I mean,
It was about states' rights, dude. It was, you know what I mean?
But it was about states' rights to own slaves.
Dude, what with the details,
So
bro?
it's like,
There's so many
I hear
details.
you.
Like,
I hear
dude,
you.
I'm in I'm what is it, like 13, 11?
Yeah, you can't be hit with that.
Yeah.
You're too young.
States' rights, dude.
Yeah.
States' rights to what? Mind your fucking business. Stop treading on me,
Stay
bro.
out of it.
And then what about British imperialism? Can you explain any of that for Akash?
I would love that.
Yeah, he doesn't know about history.
Yeah, I have no experience with that.
They turned
Made it up here.
into,
Oh shit, I forgot.
For 400 years. For 400 years, it was a company.
Pretty good.
Literally a
It was
company.
pretty good.
It was a company longer than America's been a country.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, dude, a clearance sale.
Yeah.
Going out of business.
Fire sale, bro.
It's a liquidation. Resources and humans.
Tupo.
Just do
You
it.
made me run up for
Sitting
two.
down and we're having
Fuck
we're
outta
having
here.
some zins and drinks at the Cellars. Me, you, and
me
Timmy
run
and
up for
Liz.
two.
And
Thank you, sir.
and I bring up ancient history. I was like learning about like Cyrus the Great, who's like this great like Persian whatever. And then Shane just goes, I can't do the ancient history. I go, why? And then your argument was actually solid
Coming.
I like it.
because I thought the argument was good.
What? Like no
Oh,
one knows?
oh,
No
yeah.
one knows.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
all
Thank you
made
so
up.
much.
Yeah.
There's that
Well,
great
this is
Napoleon
in
quote
order.
that is, history is a set of lies agreed upon.
$96,
And if you
please.
look back
Thank
at
you.
ancient history, every battle ends in the most
Okay.
romantic fashion.
Yeah.
like everything is because you weed out all the kind of boring stuff that we still know about World War II, the stuff that we know about the Vietnam War. When you're looking at wars like 2,000 years ago, it's like, okay, do we need all that?
They're making it up.
The whole thing?
A lot, yeah. I think. I don't know. I don't know anything.
The Maccabees?
Wait, who are the Maccabees?
You know, the
Obviously
Jewish
Jews.
Come on.
Obviously.
Oh, that's made up. 100%.
Yeah,
Made up. 100%.
Yeah, that's a lie. You guys, you think Jews fought off the Romans?
Of course, you made that up for sure.
Wait a minute, the Maccabees.
Coming.
What did they fight them with? Frivolous lawsuits?
Yeah, very litigious, the Maccabees. Gotta watch out for them.
Wait, who are the Maccabees?
Thank you, man.
Judah the Maccabees.
Can you talk into
Why are you saying it's an R&B group?
3-0. Thank you very much.
Even the Jews don't believe it. They're like, let's not look into
You guys make up everything, dude. The Maccabees, the Holocaust.
Yeah, they fought against the.
Makeup.
What the fuck,
All
bro?
right,
What?
time
No,
for
they said it was only 6 million. I think it's more. I think it's more.
It's more.
I think it's
That's
8
right.
million.
The number wasn't enough.
They're underselling it.
167 BC against the Seleucid.
What do you mean enough?
You know.
Wait, what did I mean? What did I mean by
You said the number wasn't enough, dude.
Yeah, it wasn't high enough.
Wait, why?
Wait, which side am I on?
Yeah.
It's not.
Dude.
Meaning,
I just got back.
the number one Netflix special on the planet. 2 days later has been removed.
Yeah.
No, listen. By enough, I meant that it was horrible, and it was probably more than people were predicting.
Hopefully you didn't have to wait long, sir. Sorry about that. I just was out back, you know, doing my fucking job.
There's no way it was definitely 6 million on the dot. It's probably, it was not a round number.
That's where this starts. This is like
Coming.
right? It's like, well, maybe they went, but they didn't videotape it.
Oh, well, at least you're getting some fucking shit. At least you're making me work. I can't be mad at this. Hey. You work for the FBI or what? The Bureau? Bureau guy? An agency guy? What's up?
You guys love trains.
Detective Agent Smith.
But that's chicks on the internet. Is all of India autistic?
Yeah.
It
You're
might be.
actually the most emotional, but I'm curious to know where you're
Really?
going with this. Like,
No,
if
I
you're
just love trains, love bothering women on the internet.
Yeah. Bad at texting. That's because of arranged marriage. That's my theory.
Oh.
Yeah, it actually makes a lot of sense.
That they never had to kick
A whole
game.
generation of millions of people arranging marriages.
Never had to try to talk.
Yeah, so they're just like.
And then you're like, and then your dad's like, "Hey, go find a girl." And you're like, "The fuck? You found your parents set you up with your mom. What should I say to that girl?" And he's like, "I don't know."
I have no
And
clue.
then you just go, "Show me both
How
of
do I
the
do it?
That's how you start. That's how you learn. You got to get through the bad ones to get the good ones. You know what I mean?
But I'm saying you guys never got taught from an uncle.
No, you're right, dude.
Of the billions of Bob's and Vagine texts sent, how many worked?
One had to
At
work.
least
One,
one.
at least
One had to work.
At least one.
Because if it never worked, this is what we always talk about, like, hollering at girls on the street. It's like, it works for your friend, which is why you're doing it.
Yeah.
Like, one dude had to pick up a girl in front of you, hollering at her like that, for you to go, okay, I can just be like, yo, shorty, what's up? With that lobster.
It's cramps. But Bob's and Vagine is just funny as it gets.
Fire,
dude.
bro.
Yeah.
Just
Fire.
hit some sorority girl from North Carolina. you're in an alley in fucking Bombay. Mumbai.
At an
just
internet
like,
cafe.
Yeah, you're with
show me your fucking tits.
Just a Hail Mary. The greatest pass
The
of all
ultimate
time.
Hail Mary. Across the Indian Ocean
Fourth
Pacific.
quarter, dude. Fucking vomit. I want to start a charity where I send those guys titty pics. And you just, like, anytime a guy comments, I just send him a titty pic.
Yeah.
Boom, here you go, dude. Just to keep morale going. You know what I mean?
How much of OnlyFans is Bob and Vagine request?
We ain't paying. You crazy.
I wonder if it's not that expensive. If it's $5.
We ain't paying. First of all, that's 400 rupees.
Oh, that's a lot of rupees.
We ain't paying that.
But isn't a rupee?
It's not worth as much. Like, a Coke is like 40 rupees or whatever. But like, we ain't still not doing that.
Yo, how do Indians feel about them going to the moon and there still being people struggling?
We're proud we made it to the moon. It's when you're on your way up, you're proud of everything, and then when you're at the top, you're not proud of anything.
So you're
what I mean?
still in the stage where like you identify with all the greatness.
Yeah,
that's
look what we can
happening.
do, man. We made it there. Now we can fix. We'll fix everything here too. But look what we can do.
Now,
And America's so spoiled.
Now it's time for plumbing.
If the number
We
of
got to
signs
outer
I
space.
Yo,
Now it's plumbing time.
the number of signs I saw, and I still could be wrong, but I saw signs all over India that said "to-let," T-O-L-E-T, and I was like, there's just random signs about like, are they leasing apartments? And I was like, oh, toilet,
Yeah.
toilet. It's just signs like, hey, you need a shitter? Because I'll sell you one.
Got it. Nice.
All over, everywhere. But we need toilets still to that point.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? No, it's not a steel.
Hold on. This is about to be historic.
This is good.
No.
This is historic.
This is good.
I said I could be wrong, but you're not. It's not. It's not on. You won't see it on like a storefront. You'll see it.
Taking a picture during an argument.
It's everywhere
Someone
because that
arguing?
means there's like that's for sale. You
Like,
can
what is for
lease.
sale?
To let.
No, it's not at houses. No, it's not on. That's what I'm saying. It's not on houses. I still could be wrong, but it's random street corner. Around.
Yeah, but is there a number?
No, it literally just says that.
To let. To let. What does to let mean?
I don't even know who the fuck you contact.
It's literally, it means like, oh yeah, this is for sale.
If I saw it on Windows, I'd be like, oh yeah, that must be a place that's available.
Yeah, but you see that shit everywhere, like on buildings, on like signs everywhere.
Yo, get Shub. We need Shub. Listen, what I loved is your confidence going into that. That was my favorite.
He had moon confidence. You saw that?
You did have moon confidence.
Yeah, he had
I
fucking
said I could be wrong.
Nah, he started moonwalking.
There's no explanation. It just says to let.
Oh shit!
It's the lease.
Damn it!
To let
He doesn't even work it. That guy doesn't work it. That guy
Just
doesn't
taking
work
a
it.
shit.
Well, they could use some toilet sales too, to be honest with you.
Wow.
That's the same sign for toilets.
So you thought every one of those signs was like a toilet dealer?
Yeah, I thought it was. I thought it was one guy with a business opportunity.
I don't think it's crazy. I like it.
If you,
I'm just saying he seems upset. I don't want him to be upset. He seems sad about it.
I agree with the one that makes India worse.
No, don't do that. He's supportive. You know what I mean?
No, I just feel like
Also, if you go to India and you see a guy,
because I have that painting.
if you go to India and you see a guy shitting on the beach shore, you're like, they must be in need of toilets, selling
You know what's
toilets.
interesting?
They
though?
need toilets.
China gets the reputation for shitting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Globally,
They do that
shit in,
here in
like,
Chinatown.
yards.
No, they'll
Chappelle
shit
had
on
a
the
joke.
street. The PRCs, when we were in Singapore, that's what they were like upset about.
Yeah,
They call them PRCs.
Because they'll do it in other countries.
Oh, but in their own.
I remember Chappelle had a joke about, I don't think he put it in a special. We went to see him at Radio City, but he was like, India's such a fascinating place. They had an election, 100% voter turnout. And then that same month, year, whatever, there was a campaign to get people to stop shitting in the streets. And it was like, we know motherfuckers shit
That'd
where
be
they
such
shit.
a problem.
Oh yeah.
That would be.
I mean, I've also seen shit outside of Columbus Circle recently,
New York's
so.
disgusting. But if that was nationwide, that would be like.
Just people taking dumps all over the place.
That would suck.
San Francisco guy.
Dude, there should be a sign of people just selling toilets in random places in the city. It's a fantastic, fantastic
That could
business
solve some
opportunity.
problems. The fact that you didn't even ask anybody there. The fact that you digested information,
Who
you're like, yeah,
asked?
they're just selling toilets all over the place here.
Who am I asking?
Well, you're in India.
Just ask the Indians around you.
They don't like talking to Americans.
Who are you with? You're with your family.
Yeah. No, I wasn't with my family. I was with other Americans getting a tour or whatever.
Were they Indian Americans?
Yeah.
And they don't like you guys.
None of us knew. They don't like us.
Wow.
They look at us like we sold out.
I mean,
You did.
It ain't my fault my parents were smart enough to get here.
Don't be nasty.
You could be,
mother
no.
man.
You could be mad at them dumbass UK Indians. You know what I mean? They could say,
True.
fuck y'all, y'all do it.
Who were the ones that went to, what's that fucking place in South
Fiji?
America? No, Guyana or something?
Guyana.
Guyana.
Yeah, the West
That's
Indies.
a fuck up, bro.
Yeah.
Going to Trinidad.
Second worst
from
boat
India.
ride in history.
Shit.
You know what I mean?
Wait, what's wrong with going to Guyana?
They
When
went
you
on-
could have gone on the same boat that took you to America, you got on the Guyana boat.
They went on some indentured
You went from
servitude
third
shit.
world to third world.
I don't know what the deal with Guyana is. You got here, you got
Fucking-
called a terrorist. I'm like, what if you went to Guyana and just got to drink my tax?
It's probably better over there.
Yeah, but it's riddled with Indians, most likely. It's a huge issue. There's a huge issue going on over there, okay?
And the riddle is, why do these people keep shitting in the street? What's going on?
Guyana might be popping. I don't know. It might be.
I'm
nice.
sure it's beautiful, but
The women
look at that disgusting rust river.
You saw that?
Which one? This is Guyana?
Yeah, dude.
Yo, shout out to
Guyana's-
Guyana. You guys are great. I know you're upset that we're talking about it.
They don't have internet.
What is it?
They're not watching this.
No, we actually have a huge Guyanese population.
Look at that. There's a
Ooh, good
cathedral.
Church. Good Catholic church. Get them in there. Look at that.
Yeah, this is awesome. Dude.
Guyana's low-key beautiful, to be honest with you.
Guyana's kinda
Obviously,
fire,
it's, yeah. South America.
Yeah. and also a lot of
gonna be great.
fertilizer for the.
True.
Get it?
It's all right.
Stick the landing. Stick the landing.
Wait for it.
Tour announced. England, I know you've been asking for another show. Royal Albert Hall, we're not adding another show. It's impossible. But Manchester, we're doing the matinee, okay? 4 p.m., October 15th. The tickets are on sale right now on pre-sale. Go to theandrewschultz.com. Use the promo code Andrew, okay? And you get those pre-sale tickets while they're available. October 15th, Manchester. If you're in London, you're in the surrounding area, get on that train, get your ass up there, and prove how that train system that you brag about in Europe actually is functional. We will see you guys out there, okay? I already know that you're going to be out there the night before for that big fight with Dylan Daniels and Logan. Okay, and a big fight with KSI and Tommy. So the next day you hang in for the matinee. We'll see you guys there. Ireland, thank you guys so much. We just had to add more seats to the 3 Arena. It was crazy. I didn't even know that we were going to get to the Upper Bowl. We are. Thank you guys so much. Those tickets are available now as well, theandrewschultz.com. And of course, Australia, we added another show in Sydney. We added more seats in Brisbane. We added more seats in Melbourne. We added another show in Perth. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you very, very soon. We got some very cool announcements at theandrewschultz.com. And we'll see you in Niagara. And we will see you in Windsor, Ontario this coming weekend. God bless. Peace.
Also, guys, quick announcements. First of all, my shows at the Stress Factory were all sold out. Thank you so much. We added a Thursday show. If tickets are still available, you're going to go to akashsingh.com to get them. Again, that show is tomorrow at the Stress Factory in New Brunswick. It better be crawling with Indians. Honestly, if the club doesn't smell like B.O., I don't have enough Indians there. American Indians, I know we don't be smelling like that, but India Indians, y'all better be at my show stinking up the fucking joint. P.S., by the way, if you want to buy the autograph set pieces from my special taping in Houston, I said there would be a link last episode. There was not, so the link is here now. It is akashsingh.com. There will be a link. You can buy the set pieces. A couple of you guys already bought them. Thank you so much. And one more announcement. I'm gonna try Twitch. I'm 39. I probably should have done this years ago during the pandemic and made a lot of money, but I didn't. I'm going to watch the NFL on Twitch. Go to Akash Singh Comedy on Twitch. I'm probably going to watch Cowboy games because I think they'll actually be good this year, even though they'll probably let me down and rip my fucking heart out. But I'm going to watch Cowboy games and other games. I got an NFL Sunday ticket. We out here watching motherfucking NFL. Akash Singh Comedy on Twitch. Thank you, guys. Let's get back to the show.
And shout out to Catholicism, man.
Yeah, Catholicism's the best.
Respect.
Number one, though?
Obviously.
Break down number one.
Who else? Who are we talking? Who else is in contention here?
We have Muslims.
Yeah.
We have
Jews. Jews have a solid claim.
We got the Hindus.
That's the best type of anti-Semitism.
No, but here's the thing. I don't think you can include the Jews. I'll be honest. You can't include the Jews because they're not proselytizing. Right?
But that's kind of the most fire shit, though.
Most Eastern religions don't proselytize.
But to me, it's like, if you got to be born in it, how fire is it?
Maybe the most fire. It's like a country club, dude.
Yeah,
you want to get hey, join the country club.
You want to
They
get
literally are that.
It's like a country club that occasionally gets raided and beating the hell out of everybody.
We like to move
But
around a
every
little
few years, a bunch of guys break in and
There's a couple
attack
L's.
everybody.
Yeah, they've got a couple L's. I'm just trying to say, we don't know how fire it is if people aren't dying to join up. Like, people are literally dying to join up. Certain ones.
Yeah.
And also, no.
No, they're not dying to join up. They're dying to get other people to join.
Fair enough. They're putting the effort in. They're putting the effort in.
But I think Abrahamic religions are the only ones that proselytize.
But do Hindus not?
No, we don't.
But y'all don't like it when people aren't Hindu. You put the pressure on.
No, we don't.
Being Muslim in India.
Yeah, we don't like Muslims, but they don't.
Shub, get back in here. Shub, get back in here.
Get back in here.
And the Abrahamic religions post the Jews.
Okay, let's talk about it. You think Catholics number one?
I mean, yeah.
Okay, why?
We did it, dude. We did it. Look at the Vatican. We did it.
Yeah.
No, that shit is fire.
We
The
did it.
Vatican's, I have a bit about this.
Vatican was mid.
Yeah. Oh, come on.
I did see
Invented the Western world.
hating.
Invented the Western
That's
world.
number one.
Here's the question. Did Luther have anything to do with that?
No.
Okay, break it down.
Well, wait. Are we counting
Christianity as part of
Christianity?
Catholicism?
Yeah.
Okay, if we
Then,
count
all right,
Christian,
are we branching off all the different branches of Islam?
that's true. If we're doing the what is it, Shia and the Shia.
Shiites.
Sunni
Okay, fine.
Shia.
So just wrap it into one. Christianity,
Number one.
Catholicism, number one.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
yeah.
If we're going off of of leadership, you had an interesting argument. You were like, he's not a man. And because of that,
Yeah.
when you don't live up to him, you don't
You
feel.
can't bring up these bar conversations.
No, I thought it was like
Jesus is Lord.
it is, dude, we get so intimate with
Yeah,
that bar
it's
call.
nice.
But but it was like a really good conversation. It was like you brought this argument. You're like, he's not a man.
Yeah.
Therefore, when you don't live up to him, you don't feel horrible about yourself. He's someone to aspire to live up to.
Yeah.
Whereas Muhammad lived a godly life, like he's God. He's not. He's prophet.
Yeah, but their argument is they don't worship Muhammad.
But there's also that.
Meanwhile, they go nuts if you draw them. That seems like the most intense level of worship.
Yeah. That's like their boy, though. That's like their boy.
That's their guy. I get it.
Yeah.
I think Jesus is mentioned more than Muhammad in the Quran.
Really?
Well, because he's a prophet
Could be
as well.
wrong. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But what are
They
they saying
believe in
about
him.
They
They say
recognize
he was
who
that dude.
They're just saying he wasn't God.
Okay.
Which is a fair argument. To just be like, come on.
Yeah, he's a great dude. Like, we all love
He's
the
the
guy.
man, but
Yeah.
like, you really think he was God?
Come on, but really, though.
And he would be like, nah, that's just Pops. Pops
Yeah,
is
but
God.
then the Catholic argument is he's also Pops.
He's both, 100% both.
It's the Trinity. It's one and then whatever. I don't.
But if he
what
was,
are we talking about?
If he was God,
Get him some more
he
Bud
did,
Lights,
like,
'cause-
really weak shit if he was God.
No,
That's a
the
good
thing.
argument,
Like,
also.
No,
He
no.
could have did way more.
That's what they were saying back then too. They were like, dude, why are you just letting them kill you?
But-
You could destroy everybody.
Just
He's
water
like,
into
dude.
wine, like light shit.
But not. I don't know. I feel like the
He fed
shake.
40 people with one fish. There's more than 40 people who
That's
eat
what I'm
fish.
saying.
Yeah, I mean, that's not even that many.
All right, sorry you didn't have fucking 8
Bro,
arms.
Oprah helped more people than I missed it.
Sorry to get
Eight arms. Yeah.
Feed a lot more people with 8
You could.
arms.
You could.
Let's keep it a stack.
I guess.
Do we proselytize?
So you're cool if people aren't Hindu.
Well, because you get a second try. It's like, you know what I mean?
We're supposed to be.
But
Don't you guys occasionally fight Muslims?
We don't like Muslims, but
constantly.
hey, can I say one thing about
That's the
Muslims?
British fault? That's an easy cop out. Are they still there making you guys
Can
fight?
Can I ask you?
I don't know.
There's
But
a lot
yes,
of
it is their
expats.
fault
There's a lot of expats in Delhi still there.
Yeah.
They made me fight.
Can I ask you one question about Muslims? Who gets along with them?
That's fucked up, dude.
Answer the question.
I like them.
That's crazy.
Dana White likes him.
Dana White likes them.
Yeah.
I like them.
I like
Great.
What group of people? I like them.
It seems like. Wait, hold on. Why don't you express your opinions about 2 billion
Muslims
people?
don't get along with Jews. They don't get along with Hindus. They don't get along with.
They harbored the Jews. They took care of the Jews.
My parents both
all the
speak
Jews
Arabic.
lived
That's our culture,
wonderfully.
Morocco.
Oh no, you're right, guys. I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, you guys are right.
Muslims
the Jews and Arabs get along real well.
They did.
At least give him that.
There was a land dispute.
I know we're being
Around the
crazy.
40s.
A
But
little
before
sliver
that, they were getting along
that. We
beautifully.
love that.
Sunnis don't like Shias. They
Ottoman Empire, lovely
Love.
for the Jews.
Love.
Hey, Vala, do
Okay.
Sunnis and Shias get
Yeah, the
along?
Turks have always.
There we
Yo,
go.
What do you say about Ismailis and
We
Ahmadis?
got 2,000 bucks.
Thank you. Thank you. Toilet means toilet.
Let's go, Hakan.
That's the best.
Personally,
They built all like the best schools and the roads and everything. The Ahmadis and the Ismailis up north in the mountains. They have the best
This is in
education.
Pakistan.
Best roads.
Yeah, in Pakistan.
There's a sect.
No, but in the city,
Best road.
There's a sect of Islam called Ahmadi. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Apparently, if you live in Pakistan, when you come back and you have to fill out the immigration form, if you're Ahmadi, you have to check a box that says something like, I'm Ahmadi and I understand that this is not a valid sect of Islam, or some shit like that. They make you check the box.
Getting high, my bad.
Damn, bro.
They don't
You
like
be
it.
up.
This guy does that?
Why they mad? We all like
Yep.
it.
Okay, $1 back. There you go.
the Christian West.
Shit, I held that for so long.
Hey, shut the
I
fuck
was just
up.
watching some shit. You know how it is, right?
Second, dude.
We're gay now.
I kind of own the place. I don't really have to work that hard, you know?
Francis has got a little gay.
He's
got a little gay.
I don't want to trash the man, but
He's got a little.
that's what we used to be, dude.
That's how it is.
That's what
You know.
You don't think Pope Francis is gonna be on the
You
battlefield?
know, it's how it is.
Nah, he wouldn't do it.
I'd be like, guys, stop.
Wait a minute. What is
I saw a newspaper headline that was like Pope
Let's see what
Francis
else
doubles
is.
down on
Let's see what else there is. Let's watch a react of a react.
Is a $250,000 Lamborghini, and barreling down on it right now is a massive train. But before the impact, I'm giving this Lamborghini to Blake. Thank you. And on top of sending the train, I'm also gonna have these 8 soldiers shoot 10,000 bullets at your Lamborghini.
That's the scariest thing I've ever seen. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
And you have exactly 24 hours to build whatever you want to protect your Lamborghini from the bullets.
The timer starts now. Okay, first line of defense, I'm thinking a wall of cinder blocks. After that, some shipping containers filled with refrigerators. And then basically just a wall of cars to block those bullets.
Do you think all of this is enough to stop 10,000 bullets?
I think it is, Jimmy.
Okay, but so far nothing's there. You should get to building. Blake immediately drove to 3 stores where I gave him my credit card and he literally spent $78,000 on supplies. And since I don't want to bore you with all that, let's just skip to the part when everything was delivered. Its first round of supplies are starting to show up.
Oh my god, I can't believe I bought all this stuff.
Chad, do you think they give them like options of what they can put or buy? I think they always have the stupidest ideas ever.
And this isn't even everything, man.
He's got a water truck. Some of his
Give a $1 back. You're cute.
How did he get this much stuff?
This is crazy.
Don't worry about the guys with the machine guns. Just pretend they're not there. Yeah. I don't even know what they're doing there, honestly.
We're 5 hours in, and this storage container is about to be the first line of defense against 10,000 bullets.
All right, that's probably good. That's probably good.
Yeah, send. I
Do
was
you think that
just
shipping
send it.
container's gonna stop any bullets?
Absolutely not.
So as of now, he's screwed.
Yeah, it's not looking good for him.
Oh gosh. It's been about 6 hours. Are you happy with your progress?
I'm very happy.
You sure?
It wasn't until this thing got down, but now that it's down, dude, I feel really good.
I asked them if this would stop the bullets, and they said no. And once Blake realized he had to go all out, he worked not only through the night.
This way, Mr. Railroad Ties. Nice, nice, yes.
Do that.
Really
Do
nice,
that.
really nice.
But even into the next morning, upgrading his
They had
defense.
sand
Dude, he's
right
stuffing
there.
the storage container with a van and a giant tube.
And once I saw it put together, I was honestly pretty impressed. Run me through what you built.
So I built a whole bunch of concrete in the front, and the tallest part of the wall is right in the center to
Chad,
block
what
the
is that
crow's
in that
nest
bag
machine
then?
guns, because those things are big and scary. I got all my storage containers and a bunch of water.
And if you come right over here, you will see his Lamborghini tucked away amongst everything.
There it is, nice and cozy.
Do you think all of this will stop the bullets?
Yeah, I do.
I think you have a 50% chance of survival.
What's the best odds I've had yet, so.
And before I have them shoot 10,000 rounds, come with me to the Lamborghini.
Complete roommate, my bad.
But for $100,000 as well.
What?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, huh?
This will be enough to cover the insurance. 24 hours is up. 8 scary men, 10,000 bullets versus everything that Blake has built. Are you ready?
Just get it over with. Freaking out.
We're locked and loaded, ready to fire on you, Jimmy.
Sir, fire at will.
Roger that.
Stand by!
But it will do.
Oh my god. Oh, they are unloading on his horses.
Oh my god, make them stop! Make them stop!
They're actually ripping through the cinder blocks now.
Oh man. Oh god.
Yo, Blake's walls are crumbling. And what we haven't told Blake is these guns are only the first of 4 phases we've designed to destroy this Lamborghini. Or should I say, whatever remains after this.
Boy, spoilers.
They just brought out the LMG.
We'll do another hand.
All it takes is 1 bullet to penetrate, and it's going in his Lambo.
Oh my god! Wait,
To the last bullet.
it's barely going to the.
All clear?
Let's go!
Oh God, please be safe, please be safe. How is it? She's clean, baby! Woo!
10,000 rounds and not one connection, baby.
There's no bullet holes in your Lamborghini. And if you don't already know who Blake is, he's actually a contestant from
Dude,
2
he
previous
just shot
videos.
like a
But
multiple
today
tank
he's
bullets
back
than
for a
nothing.
3rd and final attempt to win the grand prize. Are you ready for phase 2?
Yes.
See that giant crane coming?
That big yellow oil rig looking thing?
That is phase 2. That crane is going to lift your car up 100 feet and then in 24 hours drop it, and you have to catch it without
Holy
it being
shit.
destroyed.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, bring it over here. And while we prepare the world's first 100-foot Lamborghini freefall, there goes your Lamborghini, baby.
That
Blake
makes
began
no
to
sense.
strategize on how he was going to catch it.
I have no idea what I'm gonna do.
Chandler, come over here.
Yes, I'm here.
How would you break its fall?
So you get all the pillows in the city. Step 2, get all the mattresses. Next, get a blanket.
Chandler, you're just making a giant bed.
Then a warm glass of milk.
All right, stop. You're not helping. Blake, work your
Probably
magic.
just water, and you put the
All right,
car in a
guys,
big
got
bag.
some good news and bad news. We passed day 1 with flying colors. The bad news is the Lamborghini is airborne. Okay, so anyone got any ideas? I mean, like, what do we think?
The bouncy castles?
Bouncy castles. That's actually not that bad, just because that's not bad at all, really.
And after being inspired by the construction workers' wisdom, Blake had decided on his master plan.
I would like to move the connexes in like a square right here with the X in the middle, and that way I can just fill the square up with a bunch of air mattresses, pillows, bubble wrap, and I'll top it all off with a bunch of bouncy castles. Just, the biggest problem right now is I have no material. Everything that I bought is hard concrete.
Bouncy castles.
Or metal, and nothing that I bought I can use for day 2, so I have absolutely nothing.
And so Blake sent his crew to buy every pillow and air mattress in the city. And even though he was incredibly sleep deprived, he got to work.
I'm already at the stage where it's like, wait, why am I doing this again? Oh yeah, that's right. I'm in a challenge for a Lamborghini that's floating in the sky right now.
By the time his materials had arrived, Blake had been awake for over 24 hours and was in desperate need of
I'm
sleep.
gonna try to get some sleep because I'm exhausted and it's 4 in the morning.
And with how exhausted Blake was, he ended up sleeping for way longer than he planned.
Blake!
Chat,
Is
even,
he serious?
chat,
What is this?
Chat, even for just a human, it takes multiple meters to soften the fall. A whole car, and he's putting mattresses. Dude, guys, think about the TwitchCon incident.
What is this? He got mattresses, pillows, and blankets, but he's missing the warm milk.
Yeah, that's the key to everything.
Where is Blake?
He's asleep, I heard.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
By the time Blake got on site, it was already super late in the day. That's Blake's truck pulling up. All right, we need to get to work, come on.
All right, let's just see what this looks like. Oh, that bouncy house works as a big box. So I'm thinking maybe we put that thing in the middle now, and then we start blowing it up.
Only 4.5 hours remain, and it's not looking good for Blake.
I don't think he has more than a 10% chance of catching that Lamborghini.
And even if he does, there's no shot he's stopping that train later on.
Start filling up the side so that way it's high over here, takes away this wall.
So with only a couple of hours remaining, Blake did all that he could by filling the rest of his pit with cardboard boxes and bubble wrap.
Coming down to the wire.
Chandler, how much time is left?
1 hour.
Blake is screwed.
I have a little bit of bubble wrap left. I think I'm just gonna get raised on this thing and just wrap my baby up in this bubble wrap. And
I mean, dude, at some point you just bust some
Blake
bread or something. I
spent
don't
what
even know.
little time he had remaining on this crane, failing at trying to bubble wrap his car.
It's just not gonna work.
You know what time it is?
What?
Time to drop the car. Let's drop this bad boy. The failed bubble wrap makes it look majestic. Like,
the car
you
is
think your
GG.
Lamborghini will survive.
I'm positive, Jimmy.
He's more certain than me.
I'm positive about this one. I bought every air mattress
Absolutely
at
not.
Walmart. If this won't catch it, I don't know what will. I did everything I can.
Here's a Feastables bar, Blake.
Thank you.
But,
That way, even if you lose the car, at least you have some good.
with all due respect, though, it has a good amount of layers and it compounds.
Chocolate. It's available in Walmart. Be sure to go try our new chocolate bar.
He's
I'm
got
so curious
half
what
of
you
it
think.
correctly.
But anyways, you
Half
had
of it.
3 bouncy castles, 150 mattresses, how many pillows?
150.
150 pillows, and 2,000 cardboard boxes. Will it break the Lamborghini's fall?
Yes. Yes.
That's 2 yeses.
Okay.
The damage inside is GG anyway.
Down to this. No pun intended.
3, 2, 1.
Well, I mean, I'll send it. That didn't look that bad, actually.
Please be okay. Please be okay. Please be okay. Please be okay.
All right, he's moving the Connex straight out the way.
But the engine is going all fucked up.
Get these boxes out of the way.
Oh.
What?
We're about to find out how damaged this car is. The lights work.
Ooh. The lights work.
Yeah, this Princess Castle might have saved this entire car.
Moment of truth. You might have been the first person in history to catch a Lamborghini.
If it turns on.
All right, here we go. Oh, it worked!
I can't believe it.
Yes! That's what I'm talking about! He's alive! Everything looks good, minus a little crack in the bumper, which we found out by this official appraiser. This was only going to reduce the price of Blake's Lamborghini by
Probably 10 grand.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the good news.
And now it's the perfect time to mention that Phase 3 is flaming cars. For Blake's next challenge, we're bringing back his biggest nightmare. We have recreated the Flaming Cars Challenge that cost Blake everything last time.
Wow. That's a low blow.
But seeing how he's done this before, we're gonna up the stakes by dropping twice as many cars as last time. I'll see you tomorrow.
I got a lot to prove. Redemption Day.
Blake spent the rest of the night disassembling his
For
defense
Lambo's
for
probably
phase
more than
2.
10K.
And after a good night of sleep, he was ready to begin his defense for phase 3.
8 in the morning, just woke up. We got a lot of work to do today, so let's get started. Here's the day 3 plan. I'm gonna cut the bottom out of a shipping container and I'm gonna drop it right on the car. Next, I'm gonna take 2 more containers and I'm gonna lean them up, coming to a point right above the car. And most importantly, nothing flammable this time.
Do you think that will deflect the car?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say no. Blake then asked his crew to remove every piece of wood that was in the container, because that's what ended his challenge last time. He then had them cut out the bottom of the container that would surround the Lamborghini.
This storage container could put a lot of damage.
Completely crush it? Yeah.
We can?
I mean, yeah, that thing weighs a whole lot.
And with that being done, Blake just needs to lower the container carefully over the Lamborghini without damaging.
One scratch could cost him thousands of dollars. You're good, just like that. It is so close to scraping the car. Watch your fingers, we're coming down. Yes!
I cannot believe that!
All right, next we're gonna bring these containers together to form a V.
What if the car gets caught in there?
Yeah, that can't happen, dude. That's why we're putting this pointy thing at the top.
Do you think that will actually deflect the car?
You just drop the car from like a crane height and they're worried about some scratches on the mirrors.
100%. 20 minutes remain, and then we see if that Lamborghini perishes, just like his 500 grand. And as usual, Blake utilized every last second. 3, 2, 1. Not quite sure what that dirt accomplished. Time is up.
No.
Let's see if, unlike last time, you survive phase 3.
Redemption.
Blake, you lost $500,000 from this exact challenge. How are you feeling?
I feel pretty confident.
I think the viewers want to know one thing. Did you put
whole
wood
day for that.
inside of there like last time?
A little bit. No, I'm just kidding. There's no wood in there. It was one of the biggest mistakes I've ever made in my life.
Moment of truth. Come on in. 3 shipping containers, a bunch of dirt, concrete, a weird, like, pointed roof thing, versus 10 flaming cars. Are you ready?
Let's go, dude.
Light it on fire!
But why flaming?
Will Blake be one step closer to going home with a brand new Lamborghini filled with $100,000, or be eliminated and go home with nothing? We're about to find out. 3, 2, 1, drop it! Oh!
Oh, you did not
I
want
feel
that.
like that's exactly what he didn't want to happen. Oh, no.
Why don't you
Feeling
put some
good?
sand in there?
Not as good.
Yeah, this is giving me some flashbacks.
It's giving you some flashbacks.
All right, ready for the next one?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Drop it.
Oh my
in
God! The
between
roof
it.
looks like it's already buckling.
And just in case Blake loses to the flaming cars like last time, I'm going to take this moment and tell you about this amazing new phone. What you're currently watching on is the new Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. This phone can record slow-mo and 4K. The camera on this is crazy. We're like 200 feet away and it's nighttime, and look at how crystal clear it is. And go ahead and drop it. Oh, that hurt to watch. It also has a ton of new features with Galaxy AI, like Photo Assist. Remember the last challenge when the bumper got cracked on the Lambo? You can just circle it like this, and then all you do is you hit that eraser button. And just like that, the bumper is fixed.
I have a new car.
For the picture, you do.
Whenever you're ready.
Cool.
This phone also has Circle to Search with Google, which makes finding information incredibly easy. It would have helped Blake a lot in the last video to learn about the flammability of wood and railroad ties. All he needed to do was long press the home button, circle the railroad ties, and ask, is this flammable? As you can see, railroad ties are flammable.
Oh, come
People learn
on.
the answers
The
instantly.
fake timer.
I just told you.
Really, dude? Oh my God.
I was genuinely impressed by this phone, and I think you will be too. So, go to Samsung.com, click the link in the description, or scan this QR code to check it out right now, and let's drop the next car. We dropped car after car, and with each one, we could tell Blake was getting nervous. But we also noticed that all of the impacts were starting to damage the crate itself. Your crate on the bottom is bowing. At this point, the container protecting the Lamborghini was being crushed by the weight and heat of the cars.
I thought about this every day since the last time I saw this.
And now it's time for the final car!
Yeah, it's getting pretty close.
Bro, it's gotta be 1,000 degrees in there. His car has to be melting now.
We got the fire extinguisher. Somehow he's running so fast. Be careful, Blake. I'm coming. How is it? It's okay. It's okay. Yes! You like that?
If one more car was dropped, this crate would have collapsed. You stopped 10,000 bullets.
Easy.
You caught a car out of midair. You've now deflected 10
Hold
flaming
on.
cars. And now it's time for phase 4.
Bring on the train.
The timer has officially started.
I gotta go.
Bro, where did he get all these trains
luck
from?
on phase
It
4.
wasn't his new train.
What is he even writing? Knew that the train was going to be the most deadly attack yet, so he wasted no time in getting started.
I think the best way to stop a train is to derail it. That's what I'm trying to build here. All these railroad ties are tucked snug, and all of these are gonna go under the train, and the train's gonna hit them like that. And if I do that 100 more times, I don't see the train just blowing past all that.
The railroad ties lost me the challenge last video. This time they'll save me.
You just need 2 inches off the track, and I win.
2 inches is a lot, though.
My man. Then once I have all this done, I can just put concrete on top. I think that's gonna work, man. I think that's gonna work.
Blake worked with his crew throughout the entire night, and when I showed up the
You know
next
what?
morning,
The wood
it
thing
was
is like that
obvious
bad.
that the challenge had taken
That actually
a
break the railroad itself, no?
I'm like dying out here.
As you guys know, he lost $250,000 in this video. He lost $500,000 in this video. I think Blake is sick and tired of losing. He has an army going super hard. They're currently stacking the cars that we dropped on phase 3 on the train track. But time was still ticking down. And in order to stop this train and take his Lambo home, Blake began adding a lot more objects to the tracks. Like shipping containers, mattresses to cushion the impact. Blake's worked so hard, I'm now on his team. And water tanks. Blake really seems to know what he's doing. Too bad there's only 11 minutes left. At this point, Blake did everything he could to finish his build before time ran out. And it was actually starting to look impressive.
This is it.
3,
The final stretch.
Wait, how much?
1.
Last line of defense.
Time's up. Stop. Turn it off. Turn it off. Time is officially up.
Oh my God.
From phase 1's shipping containers, phase 2's mattresses, and even phase 3's burning cars, you somehow use all the resources from the previous phases. Let's see if you're driving home in a Lamborghini or if I'm dropping you off at your house.
Bring that train on,
Train is
man. Bring it
anything.
on.
It barely has any
Before
speed
we
to build
ram
up there.
everything, we need to back the train up. We're gonna go really far back. That way the train can pick up a lot of speed before it hits everything. Sound like a good idea?
No, Jimmy, that sounds awful.
Be honest, do you think your Lamborghini will survive?
God, I hope so, Jimmy.
And of course, we had to put the Feastables logo on the train. The new formula is
No,
the
I mean,
best
even then,
chocolate.
it's not
Do
all
yourself a
sweet
favor and go give it a try. But for now, it's time for the biggest moment of Blake's life. Let's see if he wins the Lamborghini. Blake, any last words?
Give it all you got.
Send the train. Here it comes.
Bro, it's very good.
Oh my God.
It's coming! It's gonna speed up until it hits 35 miles an hour right before impact. Dude, it is going quick.
Wait, man, it's actually going pretty fast there.
Here she comes! Let's see if it is all working.
Derail there.
Oh! Wait! Oh, it derailed! Wait, I think it stopped!
Oh my God.
Wait, I've never seen something
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God, I did it. Oh! Yes. Oh my God.
This is your new Lamborghini, Blake! Not only did he win the Lamborghini, but he also got all this money!
Yes.
Congrats!
I did it.
Wait,
You
that
know
actually
the best way to
drives.
end
No
this video,
shot
Blake?
there.
What?
I've been going to Walmart and buying Feastables right now. It's the best tasting chocolate on the planet. 3rd time's the charm. See you guys later.
Yes.
It's probably cooked though. No shot then.
Mr. B6000.
Chat, no shot. I refuse to believe that the frame suspension is all good.
Sitting.
It's gotta be broken, right? Right? And there's no Feastables now. I don't eat chocolate anymore.
From
From majestic Quebecois Overwatch pro player to being the newest member of Doc's Champions Club, this is the story of how Felix Lengyel, better known as XQC, went from signing a $100 million kick deal.
How streamers ruined gaming. Is there a video of this or not? This is kind of interesting.
Mega loud.
Did streamers ruin gaming?
Did streamers really ruin gaming?
I don't
or are
think
you just
so.
trash? In this video, I'm going to talk about gaming before streaming was popular and gaming after streaming became popular. And by the end of this video, you'll have an answer on if streaming really ruined gaming or not. Now, a few months ago, I was actually scrolling through Twitter and I saw this tweet right here that says, dominating blue-collar workers in BattleBit. If you don't know what BattleBit is, well, it's basically like Battlefield and Roblox, and this is pretty much the whole clip. Yeah, pretty much that guy is just straight up dominating people. Like that's pretty much it. And I saw a quote tweet that said, esports ruined casual gaming. Now I know the whole title of this video is like something along the lines of how streamers ruined gaming, but I'm gonna put streamers and esports kind of in the same category.
Chat, BattleBit, chat, like you barely have any HP, okay? The reality is that it's like a big team battle thing, okay? Somebody cannot full solo carry an entire game. Okay, you're just gonna eat one bullet after being alone and you're dead. It is what it is. That's just what it. Yeah, you can carry a lot, but I'm just telling you, like, you're bound to have a player on your team that's as good. So in the game, overall, your game shouldn't feel that bad because there's one mega tryhard. It's not.
I say that because with streaming, you kind of got to either be good at a game or funny, and with esports, you got to be good at a game. So I'm gonna put them both together because they're pretty similar, if I do say so myself. But to really understand this, we got to go all the way back to 2018. The Fortnite boom. Before Fortnite was this cringe cash grab that pretty much just preyed on little kids for money, it was a game that nobody truly knew how to play and everyone had fun with it. I mean, back in 2018, every single human being was talking about Fortnite. I mean, back then you had Fortnite meme pages, every single human being was posting their wins, people were doing emotes IRL.
Fortnite move! Ooh, damn, hold on. Well, he's actually kind of crazy with it.
I mean, that's how we got the infamous ninja clip.
Come on, man.
And since Fortnite was so popular, one thing that also became popular because of Fortnite was streaming. Back then, Twitch was like pretty niche, but I'd say that Fortnite made Twitch more mainstream. And you may be asking, why did people go to Twitch and not YouTube? Well, the thing about YouTube is that a lot of YouTube videos are edited, and some people, they may be good on YouTube, but it's like on Twitch. Twitch is live, Twitch is raw. So if you lose, like, people are gonna see you lose, and if you win, people are gonna see you win. And that's why Twitch was so popular, because you could...
Okay. So maybe this guy's like trying to cater to like his audience and try to keep the video on topic, but that is just completely wrong. I mean, he misses like 99% of the topic of the why.
See high-level gameplay in real time. To determine if somebody was truly good, all you had to do was just watch them on Twitch. And with Twitch becoming so popular,
why people go to Twitch because it's because it is of the culture and the chat and the whatever.
Some streamers that a bunch of people were watching back then was people like Myth, Ninja, Dr. Lupo, Nick Merckx. The whole Ninja versus Myth argument was like the biggest topic in school. I remember I was back in like freaking 10th grade and we were arguing at lunch tables talking about if Myth or Ninja was better. Back then I was Team Myth. But with all those popular streamers and pro players being in the limelight, that made more people want to be a pro player / streamer. I mean, did y'all see how some of these Fortnite teams were getting down? Bro, I'm telling you, if I had to crank a few 90s to be a freaking Fortnite pro back then, I probably would. And that's exactly where the downfall of gaming happened. Everyone started focusing on the money you can make from gaming rather than the fun from gaming. Fortnite used to be this game where you try to win by doing these creative strats like building a sky base, building a huge metal base, or maybe even camping in a bush. But then it turned into this huge sweat fest when people saw that you could make abnormal amounts of money from this game. Back then, if you shot at a dude, they would probably start shooting at you back like they wouldn't even build. But now, if you shoot at somebody in Fortnite, they're building a whole freaking skyscraper hotel with Wi-Fi. It's actually wild. Now, let me say this right now. I do also say that that's kind of just time.
You know, he's going to disagree, okay? There's a similar boom that you can use as a data bank for this, and it's Minecraft. Minecraft didn't have you could just queue ranked, okay? But if you did want to play some sort of ranked competitive game mode, there's some servers you can play on, and the people that were there are fucking cracked. I don't know why, because they start young. The game is good to learn. Guys, the reality is that Fortnite hit like a massive, like how do you call this? Like a jackpot home run.
Whatever you say,
Okay. Fortnite has a lot of things that you need to learn to be good at games. It has a lot of components, right? And it's simple enough for a child to pick it up and become good at it. And what it did, in my opinion, it introduced gaming in a simple way to a very young audience, and it just became cracked. Because young children sponge information like crazy, and they're something else. It's what it is. And we haven't had that in the longest time. And there's not a game that really did that except for Minecraft. And if you look at some of the people that played Minecraft, you want to know why I know this? Because even before we had Fortnite, okay, there was Overwatch, right? Nobody cares about this, whatever. Some of the kids that were cracked at Minecraft, right, swapped over, some of them, to Overwatch, and they were crazy, dude. They were insane, okay? And you could tell that, like, oh, dude, holy shit. If these kids were like even started younger and they were introduced into gaming even younger, these people would all be pro. We would have we would have no Overwatch players or CS players. We would have only Minecraft. They're insane. But then Fortnite is that but on crack. Now there's the bigger boom, more people. It's even more accessible for children. Overall, it opened the door to more. So children and younger people, they would just want to be better. They just want to be good at the game. They sponge information. They're just good. Like, it's what it is. It accelerated the culture.
Like with time, people get better. But my point is that everyone's playing games to be the best rather than to just have fun with their boys. Everyone is playing to be watched on Twitch or watched on YouTube. I mean, you ever play a game and you get killed by somebody with a TTV gamer tag and you go to their Twitch and they're not streaming at all? They're just sweating just to sweat. Like, everyone is just playing for that top spot, because in that top spot, you can make content out of it, and with that content
Well, I'm gonna have to roll myself back on a little bit.
Rather than time, people get better. But my point is that everyone's playing games to be the best rather than to just have fun with their boys. Everyone is playing to be watched on Twitch or watched on YouTube. I mean, you ever play a game and you get killed by somebody with a TTV gamer tag and you go to their Twitch and they're not streaming at all? They're just sweating just to sweat. Like, everyone is just playing for that top spot, because in that top spot, you can make content out of it, and with that content comes a whole lot of money. Unless you're playing like Farming Simulator and you're a pro.
People have had this like a lot of past years, and it's just not a good take. It's a lot of projection. There is more people that do that, but there are a lot of people that just play games and don't do that. And
the
ratio is pretty much the same.
They either do or they don't do.
I don't know. I might become a Farming Simulator pro. You never know. Bars. But yeah, everyone's pretty much playing to be watched. I remember back then, games wouldn't really get sweaty until like 2 or 3 weeks after release. But now, games are sweaty off the rip. It can be 5 days away from Call of Duty coming out, and you already got a dude making a video saying, best class setup 2023, MW3. And it's like, bro, the game hasn't even released. It can be 2 weeks before 2K comes out, and a dude already has the best build. It makes no sense. And when the game comes out, people are only going to play the meta, because when you only play the meta, you can win more. And when you win more, you can get up to that top rank. And when you get up to that top rank, you can stream, create content from it. More people are going to watch you because you're up high on the leaderboards. And then the cycle just continues.
People having better computers, access to information online, more people making videos that are educational. People learn and want to learn, dude. People want to get better at fucking stuff, dude. Like, nobody fucking goes around, dude, skateboarding. When we're young, when I was young, chat, we didn't have much internet. If I wanted to learn how to do a trick on skateboarding, I had to ask my friends, whatever. We were pretty bad at it. We skated for fun. But nowadays, we have a lot of videos. If I'm a kid and I wanted to do how to do a trick flip, right? I go to YouTube, boom. I'm able to do it in a week. Back in the days, it took us years to do that shit. That it just accelerated because of access to information. It's like some guy that just like says, dude, people don't have to go to the library to get information. Well, no shit.
and continues and continues, and now everyone's just playing the same because everyone's just trying to be the best to be able to stream it / be watched. Back then you would play games for the fun because there was really no money involved, but now it's like every single human being is trying to become the top streamer, and it's like, bro, like, where's the fun in that? Back then gaming tournaments were giving out speckles. I'm telling you, if you won a gaming tournament for like freaking Mortal Kombat or Halo or something like that, you were probably going to get 50 cents in a Big Mac. But now if you win a freaking Fortnite tournament or you just win a freaking Call of Duty tournament, dog, you're honestly set. You can buy your mom a freaking mansion. People are getting millions from tournaments. I mean, look at Booga, bro. Didn't he won like 3 million, I'm pretty sure, off of Fortnite? That is wild.
Chat, the bell curve is the same in terms of skill and what it just there's just a bigger sample size. So therefore there's more money, there's more involvement, there's more eyes. That's just what it is.
That is insane money. Another thing about gaming after streaming is that games that aren't even sweaty are becoming sweaty. For example, Fall Guys. I remember back in 2020, every single human being was playing Fall Guys during quarantine. And with everybody playing Fall Guys, TikTok got a hold of that. And I remember scrolling through TikTok one day, and I saw this one dude making videos of the best strats on certain maps on Fall Guys. And I just thought to myself, what do you gain from being a sweat in Fall Guys? What do you gain? Like, I understand you're trying to show people how to win and stuff, but I feel like the reason why Fall Guys was so fun was because nobody was making...
Chad, this chat is satire. It's satire. There's no shot this guy's actually serious about this. Dude, people want to get better at stuff. People want to play a game and actually find themselves better than they were the game before. Who would do that?
Strats or anything.
Who wants
People
to
are
win
just
the
hopping
game?
in, having fun, just playing like headless chickens, you know? I feel like games die out quicker when you're making all these strats and stuff on how to win, when it's not even like... Obviously, yes, the goal in Fall Guys is to win, but I feel like the whole point of that game is to enjoy the journey. Like the fun with friends, the freaking hurdles you're going over, that one dude griefing you on the map. Like when you're only focused on trying to get crowns in that game, the game becomes less fun because you're just focused on the destination rather than the journey. Imagine coming home from a long day of school or work and you're getting sweated on in Fall Guys. Imagine you're over there just trying to chill, you know, you're on this little cutesy game that's like Wipeout, and out of nowhere, TTV Try Hard for Life literally just claps you every single map, and it's like, dude, you can't even have fun anymore. And since everyone's tryharding, games are now catering to the bad.
Brother, this is the guy getting mad at fucking Mario Kart or some shit, dude. Yeah, it's a game made for fun, but some people find shortcuts and get better at the game. Okay, dude, what about it, dude? These games are party games. They have a lot of mechanics to come back. There's a lot of things that, even if you're a really good player, you don't win. It's a team game or some dumb shit or some trash RNG. The game has random dog shit that makes you lose. It is what it is. It's just, chat. This says you. This is me. Yeah, I do the shortcuts on yo.
Add players. One thing that games have been implementing is this thing called skill-based matchmaking. If you don't know what it is, well, I'll basically explain. Think of a lobby where all the top players from a bunch of different games all get into a lobby with each other and go head-to-head. Basically ranked play, but with no bonus rewards or anything. You just kind of get into a lobby with the best players without getting any specific reward in casual play. And the thing about skill-based matchmaking is that it's unfair because the good players are being punished for being good at the game. And it gets to this point where it's like winning...
Okay, I think, chat,
feels like a chore
I think
rather than actual
my brain
fun.
is starting
Because
to
back then,
to hurt
if you truly
itself.
wanted to sweat, you would go into like a ranked game mode or something. But now, if you're a tryhard, you're gonna play every single other tryhard 24/7 just because you're good at the game. Back then, games like Call of Duty, what they would do, you would join a lobby, and if you wanted to leave that lobby,
yeah, it was too late. No, just get upstairs. Fine. Thank you, Nick. Yeah. Chat, guys, this makes chat. It's not really a punishment. Oh, we think you're better than these players. We don't think it's fun for you to have a too easy time, and we don't think it's fun for them to have a too hard time. Let's find a more balanced game for all the players. Dude, I'm being punished. What the fuck is this mindset?
Lobby, you would just leave it, and if you wanted to stay after the game, you would stay. But now, after a game is finished, they just transport you to a whole different lobby with everyone else who also did good, and it's like now
Chat, guys, well, last pause, chat. We're getting a lot of people, chat, that are doing these videos and stuff recently. Chat, across all games, we're seeing a lot of people just like him that are doing this, right? Let me tell you something very important, okay? The problem is, okay, back in the days, being the better, this skill distribution, okay? Skill distribution, okay, chat? Before, being in the top players was very easy. Very easy, okay? You spent a little bit of time, a little bit of whatever, you were clapping everybody. So, at the time, if you were getting to a lobby, you are smoking everybody in the lobby, okay? So, at the time, when people were just kind of playing games, buying a PlayStation, oh, some dad and his child, yeah, let's play, right? And then they're getting fucking clapped by this guy, right? Because this guy spends more time on it, right? But now that there's more players, more people getting better, and they don't present more time, what happens is they gradually, slowly, they just slide down the curve, and they're like over here now, right? Now they're molding that these people that spend their entire life doing this shit are clapping them. Brother, that's just how things go. They have a console earlier, they get the games earlier, they have more time to play the game, they have more passion, they want to get, even this guy, this can't fathom getting better at a game. Oh dude, getting better at a game? What do you do with your life? Bro, now he's just getting mad that he's just this guy over here. That's just what it is. Like, you fell off.
You gotta go head to head with all the big dogs just because you won one game. I remember Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, that had some of the worst skill-based matchmaking ever. That game was borderline unplayable because if you won one game, you would be playing the freaking Optic roster from freaking 2014 just from winning one game. And another way of games catering to bad players, Fortnite adding bots into their games just so you can feel better about yourself. Let's be real. It is 2023. Nobody is a default anymore in Fortnite. I mean, back then, yes, there were people who were bad at...
I think this is bad for gaming, but it's good for people's feelings, which gives them money. Okay? Unfortunately, people's feelings are shit. Gamers are very weak mindset Andes, and this is bad for games. It's bad. I think this is terrible, but at the same time, it's good for their little feelings. So I think this was Fortnite's W for themselves.
The game, but nobody is so bad that they're literally
now they get to roll noobs
24/7 in Fortnite. So now it's like there's no middle ground between the good and the bad players. It's like if you're good, you're being punished, and if you're bad, you're being rewarded. There's actually this tweet by FaZe Sway that says, "The downfall of video games started when kids complained about people being good at the game. I remember when I was a kid and saw a Master Prestige in COD, I didn't tell him to take a shower or go outside. I sent that MF a friend request." And that's fact. And that's facts. Instead of actually putting in the work to be good, a lot of people just sit there and complain, and now games are kind of catering to them. But one game that I say that kind of bridged the middle ground between the really good players and the really bad players is Street Fighter 6. One thing that Street Fighter 6 did, they added something called modern controls and classic controls. Classic controls, basically you have to do more to push out a combo, and if you do that successfully, then that combo does more damage. But if you play modern controls, you only hit square or something, and it'll do a full combo, and those combos do less damage. So it kind of bridges the gap between good and bad players. But that's a whole
shit.
How can
It's a phone
in like games
info.
like FPS or something like that?
Good.
In my honest opinion, I say that FPS games
Oof.
should go back to like the regular lobbies, you know? Back then, you could join a lobby, scope out the lobby, see who's like the freaking best players and stuff. If they were a little too good for your level, you could leave if you wanted to. Like, I don't think that you should be transported into the freaking universe of the top 12 Call of Duty Masters.
These people can't fathom that most people out there, okay, the majority are over here. This is the people that play the game. Of course, they're gonna make it enjoyable for the people that are inside of the majority of the player base, and not like your dumbass at the end. So roll people all day. It's what it is. Like, it's just how it's always been.
One game.
It sucks.
I feel like
but
there
this
should
is how
always
they
be that
roll.
option to stay if you want to stay. Or
Hell yeah.
there was nothing wrong with those lobbies back then.
Preach.
It's just like games just wanted to cater to the bad players, you know? So it's honestly just like, gaming is just honestly a huge sweat fest. And that rounds back to like the ultimate question of this video. Did streamers really ruin gaming? In my honest opinion, yes. I 1000% believe that streamers in esports ruined gaming. Because there is no reason why people should be sweating at a game where you literally farm cabbages. How do you even sweat in Farming Simulator? How? Let me know in the comments. Do y'all think streamers slash pro
it's a
players
horrible
ruin
take.
gaming? Or like, what's your guys' take on this whole situation? Let me know. But yeah, this is gonna wrap up the video. If you guys made this far, I appreciate it.
Skill issue plus get mad plus L plus bad.
If you guys enjoyed this video, then I highly recommend you
Plus
guys
feelings getting hurt, plus
gaming
former
ruined gaming.
professional gamer.
How it is. Companies don't know who they cater to. They just gaming ruined gaming, flat out. It is what it is. Source, I made it the fuck up, bitch. I do not care. I ruined gaming. True.
Who asked?
Is there an epidemic of loneliness?
Hey,
I personally, this is like a really weird perspective to have. I think I'm a lot different than a lot of other people in the way that like I kind of like being alone a lot of the time. So from my perspective, I think there's an epidemic of people feeling lonely and not feeling comfortable being by themselves. I don't think that's the only thing, and there's a lot more to it than that. But I do think that's a factor that people just don't really talk about a lot. Because there's a lot of people that like back in the day used to work by themselves most days. Think about like a farmer or something like that. Being lonely doesn't equal being alone. Yeah, but like then that becomes very complex to talk about. Well, anyway, let's look at what they have to say.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Cold Fusion. He held his phone close, eyes searching for privacy. The man scarcely noticed the subway riders around him, or the 90-year-old artist sketching his hunched frame from across the train. In the 7 decades since Alex Katz first drew the outlines of commuters on New York City's early morning trains, the chattering riders and newspapers had all but gone. In their places were people who rode alone, together.
That's really cool. I don't know why. I just think that's so fucking cool. That like this same guy used to draw pictures of people looking at the newspaper and it's now people looking at their phone.
Light in their eyes, reflecting the glow of their smartphone. That was a quote from the Dallas Morning News. This short imagery is something that we see and all understand, but never really think deeply about. Why does it seem like less people are talking to each other in public? Why do we collectively prefer the dim glow of a smartphone screen?
I think also another reason why people don't like talking in public is that the amount of people that get recorded in public without their consent has a chilling effect on people wanting to interact with each other. Because like you never know if somebody's trying to talk to you for like a YouTube video or something like that. Or if you say the wrong thing, you could get like recorded and then put on the internet and people like shit on you. I think there's a lot of people that are kind of a little bit on edge because of that. And I don't think that's the main reason. I just think that's a reason that exists. That's all.
Do you remember your childhood neighborhood?
Yeah.
Chances are, you probably felt like it was one big family. Everybody
Yeah.
knew each other, celebrated together, and
That's
would
good.
offer help when needed. But in recent decades, this seems like it's no longer the case. People seem to keep to themselves more. And as a side effect, people are more lonely today than ever before.
I think that for my neighborhood, the reason why it was the case is because like everybody's kids were friends. So like I know my neighbors, sure, but like I'm not actively spending time with them. But like if I had kids and they had kids and the kids were hanging out, then I would know them way better.
The number of men without any close friends has increased 5 times since 1990, and 10 times for women, though the total percentage of men feeling lonely
I wonder why women it's a lot less.
is higher. On top of this, 3/4 of Gen Z report feeling lonely. Why have we drifted from each other? What is going on here? The trend started before the pandemic and even
Yeah.
before smartphones, so it has to be something structural within society. But what?
I still think that like there's a big component of this that people view like they see media like movies, TV shows, Instagram, and Facebook of like all these people hanging out and having fun together, and like they feel like they need to be doing that And so there's like a sense of like perceived loneliness and FOMO because you're missing out on these opportunities. Whereas like before, you didn't really see those things happening, or they were portrayed to you in a way that was more authentic. Like, you know, you saw this happen, but it was like very rare. Yeah, they don't see the reality exactly.
Working on this episode for many months. It's an exploration of the loneliness epidemic.
And the reason why I'm bringing this point up is that, like, I think obviously this video is going to talk a lot about like the lack of community, the lack of third spaces, the lack of you know, like human interaction, the lack of social friction, like having to call a landline and have the parent pick up and ask to talk to the kid that you're friends with. Like, you know, all of these things probably are going to be covered in the video. But I think that that's not the only vector in which loneliness is created. I think there's also the perception of loneliness that's gotten a lot larger as well.
In this episode, we'll see the definitions of loneliness, its origins, its causes, and who's most
What do you mean by
affected.
third spaces?
But this
You'll see.
episode isn't all bad news.
Guaranteed
we'll
he'll
explore
talk
some very
about it.
real ways to combat loneliness. This isn't the kind of video I normally do, but I think it's an important...
But third spaces, by the way, is besides work, besides home, besides school, besides home. So like going to a card shop, going to a mall, going to a skate park, something like that. Another community place where people gather to get together that they don't necessarily have to be at. YMCA. Yeah, there you go.
topic. So sit back, relax, and let's get into it.
And they don't cost money? Well, some do, some don't.
You are watching Cold Fusion TV.
But in general, like, they're very easy to access.
Loneliness is on the rise globally, and it's being declared a health risk. A top US health expert has warned that loneliness can be as harmful as smoking 15 cigarettes per day.
Holy shit.
In 2017,
I'm not really sure exactly how much credibility I give that, because like some people, I think that's probably true, but is that true on like a general sense? Because can be, right? You use the word can be. Well, video games can be more addictive than heroin for somebody, but is this the norm? Probably not.
former US Surgeon General Vivek Murthy recognized the growing trend in loneliness based on scientific research. Vivek phrased the phenomena as the loneliness epidemic. But to understand this winding and twisting story, we have to start at the fundamentals. What does it mean to be lonely?
Being alone isn't being lonely, okay.
People sometimes confuse loneliness and solitude, but the fact of the matter is, being alone and feeling lonely are not the same. You can feel lonely even though you're physically with other people, or
I've never experienced that. And I know other people have that. Like, this is, it's kind of interesting for me to watch something like this, because I just don't, I have? Okay, yeah, that's really interesting.
can enjoy solitude without feeling lonely. In a nutshell, loneliness is not always the result of being alone.
Okay.
It's more of a mental state of being. From a neuroscientist point of view, loneliness is actually a state of hypervigilance. It makes you feel unsafe and unsatisfied with your social interactions. It's a type of emotional pain signal. The pain is telling your brain that you need to find someone to talk to. That's what loneliness is, the difference between how much social connection you want and how much you feel you actually have.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I agree with that, sure.
It can be summed up by this line. Loneliness is feeling disconnected from others, even when they're right next to you. If it's temporary, it's the equivalent of being hungry. But when it becomes chronic, that's when it starts affecting your health.
That's interesting. Like, I usually feel like I'm pretty disconnected from other people myself. But I don't think that really makes me feel lonely. Yeah, it isn't about you. Well, no, yeah, of course it's not about me, but I'm talking about it because it's me watching the video, right? Yeah, I'm okay.
Chronic loneliness can trigger fight or flight response, and when that becomes bad enough, it becomes ingrained in our nervous system, resulting in anxiety, depression, and even anger.
The pandemic poured fuel on a fire that was already burning.
Dr. Vivek Murthy, the U.S. Surgeon General, says loneliness is an epidemic, the focus of an 80-page advisory he is releasing today.
We're used to thinking about smoking and obesity as clear public health concerns.
So you're saying loneliness is comparable to smoking in terms of the detriment to your health?
Yeah, in terms of the risk that it poses for premature death, yes.
The cure, Dr.
I'd like to have him like expand a little bit on that, because I think that is, I don't believe that. I don't know, like evidence. Yeah, like what do you mean by that? Because it's become so vague. Because, like, for example, loneliness often, like, is he using the link between loneliness and suicide? Is he using the link between loneliness and substance abuse, and then correlating deaths to suicide and substance abuse as derivative from loneliness? Like, I don't know. So it's very, like, I'm not sure I immediately buy that. I hear something like that, that seems insane to me. I'd want to hear and know everything about it. But I do think that obviously, you think about a lot of the, like, mass shooters, you know, school shooters, stuff like this. Almost all of them were lonely, you know, or sorry, actually, I can't really say they were lonely, but, like, they didn't have a lot of friends.
Murthy says is not only personal change, but societal change as well.
You're talking about changing the social fabric. That's been decades in the making.
It's been decades in the making, but it's also something that I'm confident that we can address if we put our mind to it and if we act together.
We'll get to more of the health effects a bit later, but for now, let's ask the question, how did we get here?
We got
Did
here
we
because
get here?
we brought ourselves here. We wanted to be here. I think this is, like, in a really weird, abstract way, a lot of people wanted to have this happen. They wanted to be able to not have to call a landline. They wanted to have cell phones. They wanted to be able to be on their computer all the time. It's like WoW, about how, you know how they made the game less social over time by listening to the player base? Yep. I think it happened in real life. Yep, people wanted convenience. And social interactions in a lot of cases are inconvenient.
Loneliness is not a new thing. It's been around for as long as humans have. Today's loneliness seems like a simple cause and effect. As society became more complex, with industrialization, urbanization, and a faster pace of life, people became lonely. But it's not that straightforward. Something major happened in the 1960s and 70s that became the bedrock for the Loneliness Epidemic Declaration in 2017.
It was a huge cultural shift.
In Western
It was like
nations,
Vietnam and everything.
it was the social movements of the 1960s and 70s that seemed to
Oops, sorry.
accelerate this phenomena. A
Still
2023
want- okay.
GC research piece on loneliness by
Thank you
Alan
so much.
Greenblatt would mention that, quote, the mass social movements of the 1960s helped shift people's attention from local concerns to more national issues. End
I
quote.
think this is, hey, Baldy, shut the fuck up. Number two, a lot of people, like, this is what my dad said this at least. He said that he thought a lot of these, like, protests and everything like that were people that were really protesting because they didn't want to get drafted. Because people were getting drafted into Vietnam, and because of that, they were protesting because they didn't want to have that happen. Which, to be fair, I could definitely see why.
In other words, local communities mattered less, and it was all about changing the national status quo.
Yeah.
According to Allen, this eventually resulted in a, quote, decreased number of social gatherings and eroded organizational participation, end quote. For a commentary on the cultural mood at the time, at least in the UK, you can look no further than the Beatles.
Oh, boy.
According to Paul McCartney, the 1966 Beatles song, Eleanor Rigby, was a broad commentary on the social changes of the 1960s happening at the time.
That's interesting. I always thought that song was about, like, you know, some, like Salem days.
You can see it in the lyrics, quote, all the lonely people, where do they all come from? All the lonely people, where do they belong? Look at all the lonely people. In the 1970s, things only got worse. This
Is it a best
period
song? I
would be
think it is
famously
too,
known
actually.
as the Me Decade. Why? Because
don't
a
like the
form
Beatles,
of
but that's a good song.
hyper-individualism began to express itself within society. As Yuval Levin articulates in the
Well,
Fractured
also you have to keep in mind that, like, the reason why individualism was so popular is because a lot of people, like, my dad and I talk about this a lot, and, like, obviously his experience isn't just, like, the only person that's like ever existed at that time, but a lot of the reasons why people trended much more towards individualism was because the collective nature of society and culture was oppressive. It was, like, tremendously oppressive. And because it was so oppressive, that's why this happened. It's not like it just happened out of the blue.
public. The 1970s saw high inflation, high crime, an explosion of single mothers, and the eroding of family structures. Why collectively care about changing the world, or even the local community, when everyone has their own problems to deal with?
Exactly.
The 70s saw tensions between different sects of society grow. Divorce rates would more than double between 1960 and 1980.
And also, like, I do think that this is going to be kind of a controversial take, but I do think that at this point, religion was, like, kind of falling off, right? And, like, compared to now, like, religion was, like, really, really good, really high. But I think that, like, a lack of, like, a shared, like, moral value system, I think also hurt the amount of people that were, like, willing to think about their fellow man. Because while you don't need religion to dictate morality, a lot of people do. And a lot of people, well, I don't want to do this bad thing because then the devil's going to set me on fire forever. I think that a lot of people, there's a reason why they're God-fearing Christians. There it is. Religion is absolutely a tool of keeping people, like, involved with their community.
Society was rapidly changing,
and religion
and it
is coming
caused
back
a great
now.
upheaval.
I've noticed
From
that.
around this time, society lost its
I think
cohesive
so.
glue. People would break out from the crushing conformity and turned inwards towards the satisfaction of individual wants and needs. People moved away from tradition and took their own paths in life. Of course, this resulted in more freedom of expression and less repression. But Levin states that the price we paid for this new freedom has been high. Quote, "We have let loose a scourge of loneliness and isolation that we are still afraid to acknowledge as the distinct social dysfunction of our age of individualism." End quote. In other words, loneliness has thrived and evolved from our increasing individualism. Filmmaker
That's probably true. He's right about that.
David Hoffman speaks to Rushworth Kidder, a man born in 1944. His historically massive generation, called the baby boomers, would come to maturity in the 1960s and 70s. He describes his lived observations of witnessing the dissolving of society.
We're made for each other. There is a sense in which society matters because we're part of it and we need to participate in it. It's not going to work all by itself. And what happened in my generation, it seems,
I
again...
think that's probably true. Like, how many of you guys, whenever you go to vote locally, you don't know what, like, 90% of the things on the local ballots are? Interesting. Very interesting. But, like, you're also, at the same time, you're also well-informed about, let's say, Trump being taken off the ballot in some country. Or not country, in Colorado. Some state. You're also well-informed about, you know, like, what Biden did. And so, like, what I'm saying is, like, people get focused more on an abstract idea that they have less control over, rather than things that they do have immediate control over. Like, in local government, you can make changes way more easily than you can on a federal level. Like, I mean, come on, it's fucking obvious, right? Because there's less people you've got to go through. So,
debit, broke gas.
I think that this is, and also, like, is this a learned, is this a learned type of ignorance that's been projected by media or by the government itself in order to make themselves less accountable? I don't know.
And again, is people coming up to that realization and then just sort of something turning off. And off they drift off into sort of separate orbits, flying around as kind of unattached asteroids out there. There needs to be, it seems to me, if society's going to hold together, that sense of social cohesion in which each of us, as part of the community, says, I've got a responsibility to this. It's not a formal responsibility. It's not law. It's just that I care about this society and I'm part of this. Increasingly concerned that whatever the gravity is that holds the asteroid in orbit is just beginning to dissolve.
Well, I think that a lot of people are less connected to their culture and their community because they're more connected to an online community. They're more connected to, like, an identity group. You know, for example, like, now you're no longer, you know, like, oh, I live in Austin, Texas. It's like, oh, well, you know, I'm part of, like, this group of people on the internet, or I'm part of this group of people that's, like, international or whatever. And so I think that that's really the difference, is that people just find an identity somewhere else instead.
And these people again and again are just sort of out there wandering. We never, ever in the history of the world experienced anything like the baby boom that followed World War II, and we will never experience it again. This was that sort of one-time phenomenon. And what we see in the 60s may be as simply explained as saying that's the maturing of that tremendous crush of population, which finally didn't have the elbow room and finally needed to break out and say, I'm me,
This is all to say.
Well, I just think that a lot of that probably was a massive result of, because like you think about the 50s, right? The idealistic 50s, and think about how bad that would be if you weren't part of that mold. Do you see what I'm saying? So like a lot of people, obviously good times, well, not for a lot of people though.
The generations following the boomers grew up with strong individualism already embedded in society. Individualism came to prominence.
And there's a social oppression to it that like we don't really have as much of nowadays. And I think that that level of social oppression is one of the big reasons why this happens.
In the 1960s and 70s, and
why
never
people
really
wanted to be
left.
individuals.
There were, of course, periods where this did improve, but since the 2000s, social interaction has taken a nosedive.
Oh yeah.
You see, Orson, loneliness is a disease of the spirit. People who have it think that no one cares about them.
Are you saying that Earthlings make each other lonely?
No, sir, I'm saying just the opposite, that they make themselves lonely. They're so busy looking out for number one, they don't have room for two.
It's too bad everybody down there can't get together and find a cure.
But here's the paradox, sir.
I think that's true, and I think also like the focus that people have on like social media, because like if you think about a lot of social media, it's like fundamentally narcissistic. Like all you're doing on social media with like making your account and curating your account is talking about yourself and making things about yourself, involving yourself into things, comparing yourself.
Because if they did get together, they wouldn't need one. Isn't that Zen-like?
Generation X and the millennials settled into a hyper-individualistic world, and by 2007, Gina Gustafsson from Uppsala University would state that society is undergoing, quote, the slow but steady weakening of shared collective identities, norms, and culture, and the concomitant rise of the ideal of the independent individual, end quote. Broadly speaking,
I'm not sure I agree with that. I think that people have just replaced their local identities with other identities. I feel like that's the case constantly. And like you'll see it all the time, like in chat, for example, where I'll say something that is like for example, like the other day I was talking about like, you know, can kids consent to getting like a tattoo or something like that? And I said, yeah, kids obviously can't do that. And then somebody turned it into like, can kids consent to like getting their gender changed? Because like their identity is so wrapped up in this idea that they're unable to see anything from any perspective. And like if they just hear these words, it's like a Pavlov like fucking dog salivating response, where it's like you're just instantly, oh, I know what to say now. I know what to say. I heard the thing, I heard the word, I say the thing. Marco Polo. And so I think people are absolutely attached still to identities, but I don't think they're local identities. Careful saying this on Twitch? Why? I'm never careful about anything that I say. And actually, that's not true. I am actually very careful about what I say, and I try to say it in the best way possible. But I'm never afraid to say something that could be taken out of context.
My generation, millennials, and Generation X were the most individualistic generations of all. That is, until Generation Z. You guys got the shortest end of the stick. You came of age during the explosion of the most individualist tool known to man, during curated algorithms tailored to the desires of the individual. In other words, social media. High schools and universities.
Yeah, I got on social media at 14. Like I was on it as soon as I could be.
With people physically sharing the same space, but with every idle minute, a phone is pulled out. This is something that wasn't even the case 15 years ago. Of course, technology isn't inherently a bad thing. It is a tool. It can improve our lives. But if we strip away the benefits of convenient connection, what are we left with? A screen that separates us from the real world and the people around us. A device that consumes our attention and time. A platform that keeps us entertained, but separated.
Because somehow, even with all of our unprecedented technology, no one has yet solved what I'll call the other gamer's dilemma. That when you shut your computer screen, power down your phone, take off the VR headset, there you are, alone.
What's the problem with that? Yeah, that's the best part. Thank fucking God. Holy shit, it's been a long day. All right, yeah, I'm gonna go lay down, man. Go on a walk or something, like, fuck.
In
Now, this is all known and common knowledge, but what's surprising is what's next. There's a hidden force that's causing people to feel lonely, and it's hardly ever talked about.
Yeah, people can't afford to go out. Yeah, I think everybody knows about that. So yeah, it's like, you know, like, it's weird to me because, like, I'm a very, like, I don't like saying I'm introverted because I think it's cringe, but if you were going to define introverted, you would basically say you're like me, naturally. And so a lot of times whenever I say that I don't like being around other people, people that are extroverted and much more social just simply can't comprehend that. And I can explain to them, I don't want to be around anybody. And they say, no, it's okay, it'll be fun, right? Or no, you know, you'll be glad that you did it, or something like that. It's draining as fuck. It's extremely draining. And I'm thinking to myself, am I doing that to extroverted people that are being alienated and isolated by social media? I think I am. I think I'm doing the same thing that I'm complaining about. Because from the same perspective, it's just the opposite direction. Because, like, I think that there are a lot of people that feel this way, and I don't really know how to address it, right? Because I'm completely different from them. It's like, how do you solve the problem of a parrot? How can you think like a parrot? You can't. It's a parrot. And obviously, people that are extroverted aren't as different as people and parrots, but at the same time, it's a completely different foundation of thinking.
We are about to become a society. By the turn of the century, there will be 8 times as many people over the age of 60 and half as many
people over
many kids under the age of 5. Is this the world we want?
Aging society.
Do we want a lack of kids? Do we want a lack of ability to create households? The happiest, most prosperous, most purposeful people.
Well, people don't have kids. There's 2 reasons why people don't have kids. Number 1, people don't have kids because they can't afford to have kids. Number 2, people don't have kids because settling down with a person creates the idea of FOMO, and because the internet provides the illusion of infinite options, people don't want to settle down with any individual person. I think those are the 2 main reasons.
In America, our middle-class families, and we have made a concerted decision to punch it in the gut and make it harder for that type of family formation, and we're going to lose prosperity, and we're going to lose purpose.
Most people don't realize this, but societal cohesion and economics are very closely interlinked. A healthy growing economy means that the standards of living go up. Jobs are stable, wages are increasing, and inflation is low. People can afford more, feel happier, and are more likely to build relationships. A faltering economy is exactly the opposite. Today, due to rising inflation, stagnant wages, and debt burdens, people have to work longer and harder. Sometimes we may even need to juggle multiple jobs just to keep up. It's a frustrating state of affairs, but if you're wondering...
He's completely right. How many of you guys make over $50 an hour at your job? Me? A lot of people. How many of you guys make under 12? That's a lot of people too. My understanding is that the disparity between the wealthiest and the, like, there is like a poll it. I don't think really the poll matters, right? All I'm saying is that I think that there is a growing disparity between people that are like really rich and people that are really poor. Like back in the day, like growing up, how many of you guys got the same education about like the Gilded Age, about how inequality was like at an all-time high and there were super poor people and super rich people? You guys all got that education, right? The huge disparity? Yeah, Great Gatsby, all of that. I bet they don't teach that anymore now, because now it's infinitely worse than it was then. So like the shock factor of how bad it used to be isn't there anymore. Because it's like, yeah, of course I know what it's like. It's worse now.
And why the world is like this. I fully explained it in my episode, How the 2008 Crisis Still Affects You. In that episode, I described how the true economy died in 2008 and has been on life support ever since. Because of horrendous government policies and reckless behavior from the financial sector, people have been struggling to make ends meet. Slowly at first, only to be accelerated by the pandemic. Today, it's a constant fight.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't have enough, like, I don't have enough information to, like, really comment on that. I really just don't understand that well enough. But I have to watch the video and be more educated on it. But I do think that, like, for example, I'm 33. And so whenever I was, like, early 20s, like, that was whenever 2000, like, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, right? These were, like, very, very, very bad years. And, like, how many of you guys are, like, right around my age and, like, you remember how fucking hard it was to get a job? And I think that, like, this is a paradigm shift that I noticed on the radio, is that I remember back in the day, Indeed and these other job websites were advertising to people looking for jobs. They would say, we can get you a job. Nowadays, I hear the same radio station and the same ad for the same company, and now they're saying, we can get you employees. That is a tremendous fucking difference, and it's a total paradigm shift. Because back then, holy fuck, like, it was impossible to get a job. Like, I couldn't get a job at Walmart. It was so bad, and you were competing against people that were like 43. And it's like, this person has 20 years of experience. I can't possibly beat this person. Like, why would they ever hire me over them? Now, obviously, I should have tried harder. I could have gotten a job, and I probably could have if I had put in more work. And it's always, at the end of the day, your responsibility to take care of yourself. But, man, it was harder to do that with less effort than it is now. Or than it was in 2005, let's say. Millennials actually had the worst entrance into the workforce, especially the ones that are around my age.
To stay in the disappearing middle class. All across the world, an increasing number of people are taking up second jobs. Most young people are working, but still can't afford to rent or buy a home.
Well, people are taking up second jobs, and also people are making, like, secondary money. Like, I read, like, some sort of fucking statistic that, I'm trying to remember, like, what exactly it was, but it was, like, some, like, multiple, like, number figure of, like, girls that were between, like, the ages of, like, 18 and 25 or something like that had OnlyFans. Like, I'm trying to remember, like, what the percentage was or anything like that. I don't remember what it was, but it was, like, a shockingly high percentage of them that had it. And it's like, think about the amount of guys that are doing 3% in USA. Was that it? 3%? That's fucking insane. Think about that. 3%? That's huge. As self-employed women. Yeah, that's fucking massive. So does your ex, bro? Yeah, and probably the next girl I'll date might do it too. I've got no problem with it. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. You're totally missing my point. Like, it's not about whether I agree with it or not. It's about whether I'm saying that this is, like, people, the reason why a lot of these girls do OnlyFans is because it makes more money than they could make from a job. Straight up. Is it though? It's not the point. I don't want to argue about this, like, whether it's right or not. This is a moral argument. It's boring to me. My point is that this is happening. And also, like, just because of girls, right? I used an extreme example. How many guys do you know that tried to start streaming or making YouTube videos to, like, make extra money? A lot of people. Zero? Well, for me, I know a good number of people that have tried to do that. And also a shitload. Also, what is the most wanted job for kids nowadays? Well, it's being a content creator or being something like that. It's because people also, I think nowadays, value autonomy more than they used to. Yeah, YouTuber, streamer, influencer. Yeah, in China, it's astronaut or doctor. I'm sure that'll work out great. But anyway, yeah, it's a huge factor.
Too expensive to go out. In all of that, where is the time?
Yeah, I used to never be able to go out. Like, my idea of going out would be me and Zach driving to Jack in the Box and buying a drink for $1 because they were on sale during the summer. And then we would drive back to the house and play World of Warcraft for 8 hours. That was my idea of a good time. The local Taco Bell, yep. Good times? It was great.
Money or energy for socializing. This impacts how lonely we feel.
Yeah, I think also people, you're definitely right. Like, a lot of people don't have the, like, they get more socially drained from jobs now because I feel like more and more jobs, and I don't know if this is because of, like, you know, what I do, But like a lot of people, even that aren't actual streamers or YouTube content creators, they're like always on call in one form or another. Like they're always keeping up with their job. They're always, you know, keeping up with trends related to their job. And so like the amount of time that you're at work might be 40 hours a week, but the amount of time that your mind is at work is like maybe 60 or 70. So like that mental exhaustion makes people not want to socialize as much because they're fucking tired.
It's not just some pie-in-the-sky idea. To give you a data-driven picture of how influential economics can be to feelings of loneliness, a study with
Somebody says that's every job. I disagree with you. I don't think that it is. I think that more tech jobs and jobs that have to do with, it's really simple, right? Like jobs where you're working internationally and jobs where you're working, like in on a countrywide level, like in the U.S., for example, because there's like a 3 or 4 hour differential between like, you know, the latest time and the earliest time in the U.S. and like Pacific time versus like whatever fucking Eastern time is.
Give these guys fucking time to work tonight.
More because you're interacting with people around the clock.
100,000 UK participants found something
It definitely
shocking.
is on a spectrum.
If you measure the amount of loneliness felt in the aftermath of the death of a spouse and divided that by 4, that's the same amount of loneliness as going from earning over £100,000 down to under 18,000. The researchers also stated that losing this much income is half the loneliness felt from a divorce. The measures of loneliness were quantified by a range of survey questions. It's not directly intuitive, but
I don't really put a lot of stock into I don't put a lot of stock into like those questionnaires. I think it's like it's a good thought experiment, but I think that once you start reducing things like that into like numbers and percentages, I think that's whenever you get lost in the sauce.
being in a desperate economic situation directly increases feelings of loneliness. So now that we know some of the causes, in all society, who is the most affected? Statistically,
Men.
it is not the elderly
It's young
anymore.
guys.
Now, it's the young.
Yep, young guys.
If you do a search for I have no friends on YouTube, the results are filled with experiences of young people feeling lonely. They struggle to make real connections. These videos have thousands and even millions of views, which means that they must be resonating with people.
Well, there's also
I guess.
there's like a certain type of like Sigma grind set mentality that like some people try to push nowadays, that it's a good thing to not have any friends. And I think that like, I think that's very unhealthy. It is. It's a lie. Yeah, I think it is generally unhealthy to push that type of mindset.
And even millions of views, which means that they must be resonating with people.
When I got to my late 20s...
Must be right. Oh shit, my bad.
and
I
a
didn't
lot
see you,
of
sir.
probably attest to this in the comments, let me know, but when I got to my late 20s, those friends disappeared. And it's not because they were like, I hate you, Cody. It's nothing like that.
No.
Everybody my age seems the same. That just seems how it is nowadays.
And
It's hard to say. Like, you know, I'm the kind of guy, it's like if I haven't seen somebody in 5 years, I see him again, it's like I saw him yesterday. It's totally fine with me. It's whatever.
Hey, what's up,
But
Hobie?
I think also, like,
You just get high at the job. What's up?
you know, I can only really see
$12.
something like this from my
Thank you.
perspective.
Woo.
And I can see definitely why he would feel
Alright.
that way. No one can really talk for everyone, though. Exactly, that's what I'm saying, right? It's like,
I
I'm just
don't have to
expressing how I
fucking
would
see
think about
everybody.
that
We
and how
can
I
just
feel
like,
about
you know,
that, but I'm
block
not saying
people
that
out,
I'm right,
right?
he's
With our
wrong.
little fucking
I don't think it's an
boxes.
element of that at all.
sitting alone in my apartment at my desk staring at my computer.
Yeah.
Like, because I don't have any friends. I don't know how to make friends and I'm scared. I just want to run into somebody. I hate meeting people online. It's so awkward. And you put all this into a conversation, but when you meet someone, you don't have that kind. Like, I feel like I need to meet people. I need to meet people, but I don't know how, and I don't think it's possible to just run into people.
Jesus.
Have
you ever had friends that...
God fucking damn. Yeah, that is sad, man. Holy fuck. Like, yeah, like, what the fuck? That's, like, for me, I never, honestly, like, it, guys might not believe this, I never have had a problem making friends. Like, growing up, like, I've always had tons of friends. Like, you know, I even go somewhere
He's
now and, like,
personable, that's
people-
fine.
Like, it has nothing to do with my stream. Like, I'll just talk to somebody about, you know, some bullshit, right? And, yeah, I don't really have that problem. I don't know, that's, yeah, popular, yeah, it's just, no, it's just, I don't think it's that at all. I just never really had a problem making friends or getting along with people. I think the reason why is that growing up, I grew up in a very, like,
Guys are
multicultural
slow,
like,
man.
neighborhood and, like, place. And because of that, I got really used to finding ways to get along with people and finding ways to relate to people. Whereas I think that for other people, they found, like, it's like I try to figure out what fits together rather than what sets me apart whenever I'm interacting with another person.
secretly hate you. I had a lot of them in my life, which is why I am 30 years old and I have no friends.
There's also a subreddit called R Lonely. It's ranked in the top 1%.
Being an ugly girl is terrible. Of course it is, yeah. I mean, obviously. I'll be right back when I use the bathroom. Do you have any social anxiety at all? Yeah, I usually don't. I don't know if it's really social anxiety. I mean, like I would get, like, I've gotten stressed out giving a speech before, like in like school for college, for example. I had to give speech in front of like an auditorium, and I was like, fuck, you know, I'm a little bit stressed out about this. But like, yeah, I mean, a little bit of social anxiety. Yeah, I get socially anxious, but it's also like, I don't know if it's really social anxiety as much as it's just social dread. Like, I don't want to do this, and now I'm having to do the thing that I don't want to do. Is that anxiety? I don't think so. It's a little bit different, right? Yeah, it's a mood. Yeah, I getting forced to do it. Exactly. Yeah, it's the same thing. I don't think it is. I'm not sure if it is or not, though.
There's also a subreddit called R Lonely. It's ranked in the top 1% in terms of community size. There's thousands of active users discussing their isolation, lack of friends, and life partners. In previous years, younger people weren't considered a lonely demographic.
I used
But in
to do this.
2015, the BBC's Loneliness Project surveyed over 50,000 people and found that the rates of loneliness in young people were similar to that of elderly people.
God
Here's
damn.
a chart looking at the loneliness distribution between 2014 and 2018.
Sorry.
The dotted line represents the 2018
I
data.
don't give a
As you
fuck.
can see,
Sorry.
the rates of loneliness among the young are trending higher, whereas the elderly seem to be dropping.
That's good.
Fast forward to
Well, at least
2021,
for them.
and a Harvard Graduate School of Education survey found that 61% of young people ages 18 to 25 reported experiencing profound loneliness, including feeling lonely all the time. And this was
See, like, yeah, whenever I was like 18 to 25, I used to sleep in a bed with 500 dudes on like a weekly basis. Like, my house was like the house that everybody would go to and like we would chill at. Like, after, you know, we would go out or do anything, is like everybody would come back to my house. So like, I always had a lot of people around me. Like, I used to actually have like this window right here. I didn't have curtains on my window. So, cause like, I don't like people fucking bothering me whenever I first wake up, right? And so I took the curtains down. I said, there's no curtains on the window. So if you wake up here and you're gonna wake up at 7 in the morning, I'm gonna wake up at like noon, 1, 2 p.m. Like, you're gonna have to sit there in that fucking bright sun. And also the room used to be hot as fuck. So people would leave before I woke up. So I could get up in the morning and just chill and not have anybody there bothering me. You ever get in fights for whose turn it was on Halo? Well, nah, because it was my game, so I would always be playing, and I would always beat people, right? Because, like, usually it's like you would get swapped off if you lost. Hot room with a lot of guys? It was. Yeah.
was compared to only 36% among other age groups. In 2022, 30% of young people aged 16 to 24 in the UK say that they don't know how to make new friends and have never felt more alone. To add to the situation, for some reason, it seems that men are feeling more lonely than women.
Yep.
According to the Survey Center on American Life,
It's because they don't have a girlfriend, that's why. That's the reason why everybody knows it. think they don't have fucking girlfriend. They can't get a girlfriend. They have low self-esteem. They don't have, you know, a six-figure salary, so no girl will talk to them. And that's just it, right? Girlfriend in this economy, sheesh. Yeah, no, it's not even that, right? It's the, it's like, it's the perception. The perception is what's worse than everything. Yeah, they're 5'7". So like, I mean, they might as well just die, right? I mean, that's just how, because if you're 5'7", like no guys that are 5'7" ever get married. They never have kids. It just doesn't happen. So like, just give up. There it is. Yeah, you've already lost.
55% of men had at least 6 close friends in 1990.
Just it, guys.
But this figure has decreased to 27% today.
Yeah, about the girlfriend
Alarmingly,
figure.
the number of men without...
I told y'all this before, but like my dad, so this is like 4 days ago, something like that, right? He calls me in the morning, and I'm like, oh, fuck, what is this shit? He calls me. He's like, Zach. I'm like, yep. He's like, you know that stuff that you were telling me about incels? And about how, you know, like all this stuff and incels and all this. I said, yeah, I heard about it. He's like, well, I read an article on the newspaper and I think I figured it out. I said, oh yeah, what is it? He said, in this article, it said that a lot of teenagers nowadays don't have girlfriends. And I bet that's why they're incels. I said, I think that's it. And I'm like, you know what? You are exactly fucking right. Yep. There it fucking is. Figured it out? Yep. He's like, I think that's where it's coming from.
Any close friends has increased 5 times since 1990, while women are getting much lonelier too. This highlights a significant loss in meaningful connections among the male population.
And also, I think like another factor is that, you know, also like about my dad. Like my dad growing up had tons of friends too. Like, you know, the only reason why he's not hanging out with more of his friends now is because they're dead. Other than that, he'd be hanging out with them, doing shit with them all the time. Like growing up, he was always doing stuff with them, and like, you know, having like that model of like how to interact with another person, I think that helps too.
Meanwhile, those with literally 0 close friends, which stood at 3% in 1990, has zoomed to 15%.
Holy shit.
An expert quoted by The Hill said this disconnect can have catastrophic consequences for young men.
Failing young men,
I think I watched this,
does not end well. This is an existential crisis,
well,
failing young men.
I'd argue it's much more than 15% since 2021. Yeah, maybe. But percent of what number is what I'm saying? Well, I mean, like, do you really think the amount of young men has really changed that much? I don't think so. And also, if you take a slice of an apple pie, it's still an apple pie, isn't it?
Loneliness has spread across the globe. Australian researchers conducted a systematic review and meta-analysis of 57 studies from across 113 countries or territories.
Pie analogy
The study
again? It
discovered
works.
that despite the differences in prevalence between regions and ages, loneliness was found to be present across all regions.
Substantial difference in data coverage between high-income countries, particularly Europe, and low-middle-income countries, raised an important equity issue. Evidence on the temporal trends of loneliness is insufficient. Findings of this meta-analysis are limited by data scarcity. Loneliness should be incorporated into general health
Gotta do
surveillance.
a price check.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure, like, yeah, I'm curious, like, what's it like in just a random, like, second world country, right? No answer? Yeah.
Loneliness was found to be present across all regions. According to a Statista study...
I think also another reason why it happens is that, like, political isolation, or not political isolation, escalation. Like, nowadays, people think, like, if you're a, you know, like, really, like, hardcore conservative, there are a lot of conservatives that think that, you know, like liberals and Democrats are all groomers or groomer enablers, that they want to like teach kids about sex at 5 years old. And like the people are so dramatically radicalized, and like if you're a liberal, you think like conservatives are, you know, these like Nazis. They hate black people, they hate women, they want to turn you know, a woman's life into the Handmaid's Tale, they want to bring slavery back, and like, you know, they want to take Martin Luther King out of the books. Like people, like the emotional escalation of like different types of you know, like differences in thought between people is like right now it's higher than at least I've ever seen it. It's crazy how bad it is now. Like you guys have seen a lot of posts and stuff like that about people talking about how, oh, I can't date somebody who has this type of political opinion, or I can't even be friends with these people because they think this thing. Like think about, for example, here's another example, is that on social media, how many people get criticized for being friends or having an interaction with a person who's seen to have disagreeable political viewpoints. Whether those viewpoints are you think justified or not, like I think it's way more common nowadays. Not in my crew. Oh, I think that like for me and my friends, it's not the case either. Yeah, you're totally right. But I'm thinking on like a macro level, like beyond that, I see a lot of this. Yeah, guilt by association.
In late 2022, 33% of adults worldwide report feeling lonely at least sometimes.
Yeah.
Brazil, India, and Saudi Arabia rank as some of the loneliest countries, whereas Germany, the Netherlands, and Russia report some of the lowest rates.
Huh.
If we want to get granular,
That's interesting.
we can see the effects of COVID via the proxy search term, feeling lonely. It's not a perfect analog, but it gives you an idea. The popularity of the people searching the term dramatically spiked in late 2021 and early 20...
Wow. I would probably cross-reference this with like 3 or 4 other terms, just in case feeling lonely was a search term that people were using for something that was separate. But man, yeah, like maybe a song or something like that, right? But holy fuck, that's crazy.
2022. This is most likely due to the effects of the pandemic. Of course, the government responses to the pandemic have had long-lasting implications. Many people moved away for work or just for a change. This shuffling on such a massive scale caused a lot of disruption to the connections within society. In Japan, the issue is especially severe. In 1990,
So says correlation does not prove causation. People being separated from each other doesn't cause them to become lonely? Huh. I think that saying correlation doesn't prove causation only makes sense whenever things aren't correlated, or they're being correlated in a dishonest way. Like, I understand, like, this is like a... Only for extroverts? Yeah, exactly. That literally does. I think you just wanted to sound smart. Yeah, most people that say stuff like that just try to say it to sound smart. You're right. Professional contrarians? Yeah.
T1, their central bank popped a stock market and real estate bubble by raising interest rates.
Yeah.
The economy stagnated so hard that the period that followed is simply known as the lost decades. A lot of young Japanese people today aren't dating, and a large number don't have any friends.
Ooh.
Some live their lives as shut-ins.
Yeah, they even have like a word for it, the hikikomori.
Known as hikikomori.
Yeah, there you go.
They can sit in their room for months, and sometimes years, only venturing out to eat and use the toilet.
And in the bedrooms of homes across Japan, more than 1 million people have retreated altogether. Hidehiro Shinmasu is one.
There it is.
His bedroom has been his universe for the best part of 20 years. He's now 40 years old.
シンマスさん、お部屋で何をしますか？
読書をしたり、あと YouTube 見たり、パソコンで YouTube 見たり。はい。同調圧力が強かったり、同質性が強かったりして、その人と違った行動を取る人だったり、人と違う生き方に対してあんまりこう寛容ではないので。
Were you able to go out? What was daily life like?
まあ、絶望感っていうか、
Jesus.
まあ、その何にもできなかったので、それまでは頑張れたんですけど、同じように頑張ろうと思って頑張れなくなったので、でその卒業のする見込
No
みも
chance
立た
for
ない。
Jesus.
その時が一番絶望感というか。
He wants to feel accepted.
Are you comfortable with this life?
いや、やっぱり
See, that's the thing, is like some people are like this. Like there's always stories of like some guy that's like, yeah, you know, he was working and then one day he decided that he was gonna go live out in the woods. And so he went out and he lived out in the woods with squirrels and shit for the rest of his life, and he was happy. Right? Like it happens. It does happen. But he was happy. That's the difference. I think a lot of people feel like they have to do this.
今40歳なので、そういった意味でなんか
Turn into Ted? Yeah.
あんまりこう、まあ、社会に合わないからいいんだっていうことではなくて、やっぱある程度こう社会が実際にもうちょっと歩み寄ってもらって、その引きこもり状態である方でも、まあだから僕でもその働けるようなメニューを増やしてもらいたいっていうのが一番の願いで、今の活動もそういうような活動をしてます。
There's an estimated
That's a
1.5
nice voice.
million hikikomori in Japan. It seems like an emerging trend in East Asia. In China, they are called the hidden youth, and in South
Ah, fuck. Yep, there it is. And I think also, like, this is it's a reason why one of the reasons why you're able to do this is because you can just find entertainment online and you don't have to go out as much.
Korea, they are known simply as socially withdrawn youth.
Ooh.
As for the Japanese, to cope with the loneliness epidemic, they've tried to innovate their way out of the situation. They have the unique concept of renting relationships. Yes, that's right. You can pay for temporary companionship and emotional support.
Oh yeah, they do this a lot in Japan. This is they're ahead of the curve with this. Yeah, buying girlfriend isn't like that's not a RuneScape meme over there. That's just how it is.
Hire people to
It's crazy, like I didn't know how normalized stuff like that over there was until like the last 6 months to a year.
Your friends, family members, or even pose as your girlfriend or boyfriend.
Yeah.
At least in Japan, lonely people are resorting to real-life people, albeit strangers, to ease their loneliness.
Damn.
But in the West, the market is using the new AI boom to target lonely people in stranger and more bizarre ways.
That's right.
For example, Karen Marjorie is a social media influencer with nearly 2 million followers on Snapchat. She created her own AI chatbot called Karen AI. It can replicate her voice, personality, and appearance, and all it costs for users is $1 a minute.
Platforms.
That's a lot.
Are you real?
Yes, Jacob, I'm a real person. I might not be sitting right next to you, but I'm using this audio chat platform to connect with you in real time. I'm a young, curvy woman with a petite body, brown hair.
That's why it's expensive. Like, I think that we really need to call this what it is. This is just, it's sex chat. Like, what do you think the percentage of people who are consuming this content are doing it for a sexual reason? I would say like 95%. Like, this is not about loneliness. It's about fucking ERP.
Perky breasts, soft skin, and full lips. And I'm here to talk and have fun with you.
Also, people declaring that solving loneliness with
I
technology.
love how this guy has to pretend like he's offended by it. He has to pretend like, oh no, I don't like that, you know, because his wife might be watching, right? And like if she sees that and he's like, oh, all right, you know, like then he's gonna fucking, he's not gonna have a good time. Yeah, he's gotta pretend, man.
And I'm here to talk and have fun with you.
Also, people declaring that solving loneliness with technology is the new market.
I'm enjoying her hustle.
It is.
I'm enjoying her hustle. You know she makes $5 million a month doing this stuff?
John,
That's a lot
I'm
of
so
money.
tired of my financial situation. Yes, I would do it. 100%.
I would encourage her to think twice. I think younger people
an
are too
estimated $5 million a month?
or give away their likeness and their
She
job.
can buy an island and go think twice about it in her home.
Interesting. I would not have expected that.
Why? It's not me.
The large influx of messages she receives from her
Making money from losers is really popular. And the reason why is because, like, if you, like, these are one of the most profitable groups of people to make money from is young guys that are isolated. Because some of them are just like losers, but other ones are software developers. And they've got a lot of fucking money.
98% male audience. And this isn't just text-based interaction. It seems that it's predominantly audio-based on the AI's end. Let's check out a demo.
Hey there, John. It's lovely to meet you. I just spent the morning grabbing brunch at the Flowering Tree Cafe in West Hollywood. It was absolutely amazing. For this evening, maybe we can plan a virtual dinner date or watch a movie together. What do you think?
This chatbot allows Karen to
I
converse
have
with
over 20,000 boyfriends now. Wow. She's our girlfriend now. Isn't that nice?
an unlimited number of people at one time, whether the consumer wants to do so.
Karen AI has been running for roughly 2 weeks now. I can confidently say that my core community spends multiple hours chatting with Karen AI on a daily basis. Yeah, there's a lot of girls that are doing this now. It's very kind of so depressing. Yeah, no, this is the way it is, guys. What's your body count? Yeah. Oh, God.
For a few minutes or all day, doesn't matter as long as they pay $1 per minute to maintain access.
Yeah, there
Meta
you go.
has just released an interactive AI version of celebrities,
No, I saw
such
this.
as Mr. Beast, Kendall Jenner, and Snoop Dogg. We've covered AI companions before, but the future may be filled with clones of celebrities, influencers, or even deceased relatives. They claim
That's good. That's real good. Yeah, digital necromancers. Oh boy. You know, by the way, I watched a video about this. I think Replica originally came from like a woman who was trying to create a digital simulacrum of a person that like died in her life. Yeah, it's her friend or something like that. Yeah, that's where Replica actually came from.
that these products help people to cope with grief, loneliness, or boredom. There's an ethical debate to be had on if this help provided is actually a net positive. Should we be at this point in the first place?
I think the problem is that people feel like they have to choose these things. I don't think the problem is the fact that they exist. Because weird stuff like this has always existed in some form or another, but the fact that people are resorting to it is a problem. I think that like it's not a disease, it's just simply a symptom.
US health authorities are calling for social isolation
Yeah, if you get rid of this, it won't solve any problems.
to be treated as seriously as obesity or drug abuse. Nearly 50% of all Americans are thought to be affected or have been affected at some point. Around the world, the figures may vary, but the loneliness phenomena is spreading. In his writing, Together, The Healing Power of Human Connection in a Sometimes Lonely World, Dr. Murthy describes loneliness as a health risk that can impact anyone, regardless of age, gender, culture, or background.
Loneliness increases the risk for heart disease, stroke,
Christ.
and among older adults, dementia.
It can
Oh,
harm
that makes
mental
sense.
and physical health,
Yeah.
as well as social well-being, and increase the risk of an early death due to diseases such as diabetes, heart attacks, insomnia, and dementia. Studies have...
Well, I don't understand that. Like, how is it going to give you a higher chance of diabetes? Like, I'm not the Surgeon General, okay? But, like, that certainly doesn't make sense to me. Stress is because of diabetes. Sorry, stress causes diabetes? Is that true? Wow, I had no idea.
have linked loneliness to higher blood pressure, high cholesterol, lower levels of physical activity, cognitive impairment, and mental health issues like anxiety, stress,
Why do that?
mood disorders, and depression.
Mhm.
A study by Florida State University found that lonely older adults had a 40% higher risk of developing dementia over the next 10 years.
I think that kind of makes sense, right? Like, this is the one that, like, I could easily see making sense. I think that most things in life work kind of like muscles, where, like, if you don't use it, you lose it. So, like, if you're not actively like, using your brain, then you're gonna lose your fucking brain. Right? That's what makes sense. Like, I know that, for example, you know, like, my mom, like, she was always like, yeah, she get a little bit like, what the fuck are you talking about, right? But, like, she would always do that. But, like, she was always super fucking sharp. And the reason why is because she was on the internet reading shit, thinking about stuff, like fucking processing this, watching videos. You know, she had like 300 tabs open. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, she had more tabs open than I did. And she was like just thinking constantly.
Lack of social connection can also negatively impact academic and professional performance.
Yeah.
In his TED Talk and book...
And also, lack of sleep, I think, increases the risk of dementia as well. Again, I'm not the Surgeon General, but this is just my understanding.
Lost connections. Journalist and author Johann Hari argues that depression is largely a social problem, not just a chemical one. He believes that loneliness is a major cause of depression. Humans need to belong to a group, but our modern society lacks this. Since the 1970s, society has been focused ever more on individualism, competition, and technology.
Yep.
So this all sounds terrible. So what can we do about it? How do we fix this?
Walking clubs are taking off, and it's not just the exercise.
You're connecting with someone, which is something that I was kind of missing.
That's nice.
More and more people are missing that connection.
In 2018, the UK appointed a minister for loneliness, and there has been talks in other countries to follow suit. This could be a start. Governments can do more to help. Initiatives such as local community engagement meetings, improvements in access to mental health resources, education and public awareness on how to identify loneliness and combat loneliness, as well as development and investment in affordable housing. It's shown that housing stability impacts social connections. City planners can implement communal areas for people to gather.
Well, this is another thing, right? Is like, a lot of people live, like, for example, like, I have friends that live out in the middle of fucking nowhere. So, like, whenever you're a kid, like, I live in a suburban neighborhood, right? So, like, whenever I would go outside, the first thing I would see is I would see Cameron's house, right? And then I would look up the street and I'd be seeing Zach and Lowe's house. And then I look down the street, I'd see Cody and Jeff. And then everybody'd be there, right? And so, like, if I wanted to interact with them and I wanted to chill with them, then it was easy, right? It's no big deal. But, like, you know, you literally just walk across the street. But, like, if you've got some house out in the middle of fucking nowhere, like, I was thinking for myself, right? It's like, I was talking with, like, a girl, or, like, oh, you know, maybe we're going to move in together, maybe start a family, and all this. And I said, like, you know, listen, I don't want to move out in some random-ass fucking place in the middle of nowhere. Because, like, I know how good it was for me as a kid growing up, like, to be around a bunch of other people. And, like, to grow up with, like, my neighborhood and, like, all my friends. And it's like, I would want that to fucking happen for a kid of mine. Absolutely. Like, I would never, like, it doesn't matter how nice the house is. Who gives a fuck about the house? It's a fucking house. It's just a place where you put your shit.
Example of this is in Barcelona, Spain.
The American mind cannot comprehend what's going on around me. This isn't a party.
Yeah.
It's not even a planned event. It's just what happens every afternoon here in Barcelona, Spain. After school and work, people come out to squares like this to hang out, get work done while their kids play with friends, socialize, interact with acquaintances or true friends and neighbors, and there's a huge social and economic benefit to that. Now, the square I was at is right here behind me, but just a block away through that passageway is another
I think that there is, like, a legitimate economic benefit, too, because people feel like they have a, like, a shared responsibility.
Now, in America, we have a loneliness epidemic, and part of it is due to our built environment. You see, these public squares are examples.
I think there's also, like, I don't know how Spain is, but, like, actually, I'm not even really sure, right? Because I was going to say, like, America is less homogenous than Spain, but Japan is more homogenous than anywhere else in the world. And, like, they have this problem. So, like, maybe homogeny, like, looking the same, everybody being, like, the same race, the same, like, culture, etc. Maybe that's not as much of a factor, but, like, I don't know, maybe it is. It's hard to say. It's culture? Yeah. Because, like, one thing about America is that Florida and Portland are really different countries. They're really very different places. Fuck. Austin and I would say just like a random place in Texas are different countries.
What some people call third places. They're not work, your first place. They're not home, your second place. But they're a third place where you interact with acquaintances and friends. In America, these third places are dwindling as religion and church.
Church is another one. Like, I used to go to church growing up.
Is having less a significant impact in Americans' lives. But also, third places are disappearing because of zoning laws, which keep separating the different types of activity that you have in a city to the point of every activity has to be intentionally planned. And what third places we do have in America, things like coffee shops or bars and cafes, they're paid third places that just aren't very accessible for people who are poor, at least on a regular basis. Now, why does it happen here in Spain? Well, of course, there's a culture for it, but more than that, there's an environment that's conducive to it.
Huh. But what about the individual person? Saying, go make a friend or man up isn't exactly helpful. Loneliness is not something to be ashamed of or ignored. You wouldn't be ashamed to get help for a broken arm. So if your soul is injured, you should reach out. Here are 6 ways that one can combat loneliness. Number 1, reach out. This could include professional help.
We know this one's not going to fucking happen because most of the people that are lonely are anxious about being social. Like, this is probably the one that's going to be the least likely to happen. I'm going to be honest. That one's like, yeah, it's like, oh, fuck. That's the one thing I don't want to do. They're not going to reach out. They're going to roach out. Yeah.
Help or expressing how you feel to your friends or family. You can just start small.
Yeah.
You could also find local groups, organizations, and services that can help you connect with others. Reach out to a mental health professional, like a therapist or counselor. They can provide you with guidance and support to address the underlying causes of loneliness. Number 2, self-acceptance.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of money, right, to go to, like, a therapist. I don't know how much it is to go to a therapist, but it's probably, like, what, $50, $100 an hour? Something like that, maybe 150 on average, right? Extremes exist, but
this seems counterintuitive, but another solution is to cultivate a connection with oneself.
Yeah,
it's a practice to remind us that we do indeed have self-worth. A 2022 study showed that self-reflection can reduce feelings of loneliness and also contribute to finding meaning in life. Reflecting on who you are, practicing self-compassion, and writing down how you're feeling can be a great start. Number 3.
See, I guess that's always kind of like what I did, right? Is like I would always make videos. Even whenever I was a little kid, I would make videos and draw comics. Like I would always find like different ways to like express myself. Like, dude, like I have like 50, like I'm not even kidding you guys. I have like probably like 50 hours of just like vlogs that I did growing up that I just never put on the internet. I would just record it and like, okay, there it is.
Gratitude. A lot of things around us tell us that we're not enough. It's how a lot of companies make their money.
That's true.
The advertising tells us we're not rich enough, or pretty enough, or that if we just buy this,
I see this a lot with people like they.
I fucked up.
Like this is especially true for me because like I'm not a big you know, money spender. So like anytime that like
We're good.
Like this
We're
TV
good.
that I have behind me right
We're
here,
good.
this motherfucker, this is a 50-inch TV that I bought. It's an LED TV. It's a great TV. I bought it at Sam's Club. I went there with my mom and my friend Austin, and I bought that TV with my first check from the IRS. I have never replaced that TV, and it's not getting replaced until maybe somehow I move or it
Shit.
dies.
My bad, sir.
It's a good TV. Could I buy an 85-inch TV?
Thank you.
Sure. But why would I do that if I already have a TV?
Thank you.
People always feeling like they need something like, you know, I think it's like a matter of perspective. Is I try to look at myself as a, you know, fully completed puzzle. I try not to think of myself like, okay, well, I'm missing 7 different pieces. One of them's a new car. The other one's a TV.
Agreed.
Another one is the approval of a group of people on the internet.
Hmm.
Like, this is not a
Preach.
good idea.
One more thing, we'll be happy. We can combat this by being grateful in what we do have. The practice
CO2,
of
it's not
gratitude.
CO2.
I know it sounds trite, but the simple practice of gratitude can do wonders. A 2021 study showed that increased gratitude can reduce feelings of loneliness. A 2015 study, 2011 study, and 2010 study all showed the same thing.
Yeah.
For just 5 minutes a day, really think about what you can be thankful for. At first,
Oh,
it
you
may
get that
seem
new
like there's
stuff,
nothing to be
huh?
thankful
That's
for.
good.
But if
Yeah,
you're
I
not
like
forced
that.
to fight in a war,
Yeah.
have a roof over
Just
your
got that in.
head, and are in decent physical
Oh, you
health,
get the new
provide
yoke.
food,
I
and
see,
have
I
water,
see.
that's better than some people. We should be thankful for that and much more.
Yes, sir.
There's nothing wrong with acknowledging that where you are right now is hard, really, really hard. But incorporating the practice of gratitude alongside other support can strongly aid in your journey.
Yeah.
For example, studies prove that gratitude can increase.
Like I was talking to my dad about this, and I was like, I get so exhausted and tired of being the person that people come to solve their problems. Like I have all my shit in order. Everything is going great for me. I don't have any problems. And there are other people that bring their problems to me that have a problem, and now it's like, you know, their life is on the line in some way. It's like a crucial issue and they need me to help them. Right? And it's like, oh fuck, right? I've got to figure out what to do now. And so I told him, I was like, listen, the only thing worse than that is being the person that has to ask for help. You know, I try not to forget that. It's like, yeah, it might be annoying.
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
in now.
But like, goddamn, am I lucky to be the person that's able to help
Try
them?
my best.
Yeah, if it was the other way around.
What a
That
dick.
doesn't make it any less fucking annoying, by the way.
Got being easy.
It's
and,
just important to
doing
keep
my
things into
best.
perspective.
Increase happiness, reduce depression, and strengthen resiliency.
Trauma
Grateful
dumping.
people often experience reduced blood pressure,
Yeah.
less chronic pain, increased energy, even longer lives. People who purposefully express more gratitude report higher self-esteem than those who don't, and
good.
they're more likely to help others.
Also, like, you know, you look at gratitude, you know, saying grace, right? At, you know, whenever you're about to eat dinner. It's like, that's again, like another way that like kind of religion is like, you know, like tangentially related with this.
I mean, I'm gonna party tonight?
And I do think like the decline of
Oh,
religion is like a
okay.
huge factor of why people are feeling more lonely. I
Thank
think
you.
that it's fucking huge. Because like almost every single place in the world has a religion. And I think the reason why every place in the world has a religion is because there is some sort of like fucking, like, you know how like there's certain things that like, you know, for example, like a baby will like curl their toes to like in every single human being does this thing. Like I think that's kind of the same thing with religion. Yeah, core memory, like core like shared consciousness.
Greater happiness. People who capture grateful thoughts before bed sleep better than those who don't.
Jesus is a boomer's anime
Why
girl.
so many positive changes? Because gratitude actually rewires our brains, kickstarting the production of dopamine and serotonin. Like antidepressants, these feel-good
So fucking
neurotransmitters
stupid.
activate the bliss center of the brain, creating feelings of happiness and contentment. This appears to be self-perpetuating. Research suggests that with regular practice, you'll train your prefrontal cortex to better appreciate and retain positive experiences and thoughts, and to
Wow.
deflect the negative ones.
Number 4, social media reduction.
Yeah, I think that's probably true. Yeah, I mean, and it makes sense, right? If you're already happy and things are going good for you, it's like the matter of like, you know, as I was saying, right? People always coming to you to like, you know, ask you for help for stuff. It's like, it's a matter of perspective. I think almost everything, if you change your perspective on it, it can at least be improved. It's not going to be better, but it's not going to fix it, but it'll be improved.
When it comes to using social media, we need to use it in moderation. There's research that says that a small amount of social media is beneficial, but a large amount is detrimental.
Like with most
30 minutes of use a day is the advice from Dr. Jeremy Noble. He cited a University of Pennsylvania study. Cutting back on social media can significantly improve your well-being. Dr. Noble also advises to choose social media platforms that help us develop authentic social connections. Number 5.
I think social media is like one of the things where it's like you have some people that get in on it, and like for me, I like being able to go on Facebook and see what friends of mine that I grew up with are doing now. Because like they live in maybe in a different state, or you know, their lives are totally different. I don't get a chance to see them anymore. And so it's like I see them with like, you know, they have a family now, and you know, they have a picture together, and it's like, oh yeah, I remember this dude. We used to throw rocks at people in high school, and like, you know, now he's got like 2 kids and a wife, and he's trying to pretend like he's not the shithead that, you know, we used to be. And you know, like I get a lot out of that. I think that's a great thing. But there's a lot of other people that you know, whenever they get on social media, they only get mad. Like I'll read people's like, so like obviously I get a lot of people like adding me like, oh, I fucking hate you, like kill yourself, like I hate your content, like you're so stupid. Right? People tell me this like every day. And so sometimes I'll like read their profile
Right, we're
just
gonna
'cause
do
I'm curious,
price
right?
checks.
And so I'll read their profile, and like I'll look at the tweets, and like every single tweet and every message that they ever do is something negative. Like this is just like a fundamentally unhappy, negative person. And it's just so sad.
Yeah, well.
It's so sad that they're doing that. Like they're literally ruining their own life. You gonna go fishing for one of those people? Oh, who cares, right? I mean, there's plenty of hate watchers in chat. Maybe not right now, but like just in general.
Giving to others shows us that we have something to offer to the world. Ironically, this can help us feel less lonely. Local community volunteering, or just helping a work colleague or neighbor in small ways. According to Vivek Murphy, the man who first declared the loneliness pandemic back in 2017, quote, "Service is one of the most under-recognized antidotes to loneliness. It reaffirms to ourselves that we have value to add to the world."
Yeah, I think that's
and
probably
lastly,
true.
number 6, connection.
Oops.
Yeah, like growing up,
Guess I didn't need
my
that.
dad would have me go and like we would volunteer and do like work to preserve like different natural like habitats. One in particular here like in Austin, and so we do that like, you know, once a month or something like that.
Loneliness is a stress state that makes us focus on ourselves rather than outwards towards others. To keep safe, we often treat people and things with suspicion when we feel lonely. This can ruin self-esteem. We feel like we're not lovable or likable. These factors compound on each other.
Yeah, you ever had like a girlfriend that like always overthinks everything and makes every situation that you're in with her some sort of like a problem? Like there's like, you never know, like there's always something wrong. There's like always like some degree of like uncertainty or tension in their life. Oh. Oh, God. Never again, bro. Never again.
Making it hard to solve and creating a downward spiral. To break the cycle, one can start slowly. Even a quick hello to your neighbors can help inch connection forward.
Yeah.
And lastly, if you are fortunate to have a healthy group of friends, try and schedule calls together, talk to each other, and just chat about life. There's an old Japanese...
See, like, that's the way it used to be, man. Is like, you would get in Discord. Actually, back in the day, bro, like, I remember, like, a core memory of mine is, like, waking up on Saturday morning, and I left my, my game, like, I left, like, my computer on, like, as I always do, and I would have in my headphones, and I could hear my guildies talking and, like, laughing and like, having fun whenever I woke up. And like, you know, because I had stayed in Vent the whole night, and you know, I just fucking went to bed, left myself in channel. I'm like, oh man, like I'm about to, bro, we about to go in on this shit. We about to play this game 12 hours a day, man. Dude, that was, yeah. I remember I was like, yeah, getting ready, like, fuck yeah, what's up, boys? How y'all doing? I just got up. Yeah.
Tradition from Okinawa called moe. It basically means lifelong group of friends. They meet weekly and talk about life, discuss issues, and help each other. Elders in Okinawa live extraordinarily better and longer lives than almost anyone anywhere else in the world. It's common to find Moai groups that have been friends for over 90 years.
Holy
I've
fuck!
travelled to the Japanese archipelago of Okinawa, where there are more centenarians than anywhere else in the world.
There's people over 100.
お友達関係とても親しくして仲良くしてるから悩みあんまりない。
元気だろ元気。友達は会うの。
She 100 fucking years old. God damn, that's old. Holy shit.
散歩行ってからよ。友達いるでしょ。いっぱいいるさ友達。おばあさんたちいっぱいいる。カムロ話したい。何年も話する？もう一回話したら。
And she, bro, she's going in too. Oh my god.
病院の薬が一番楽しいのはみんなと一緒に会ってお話ししてそれからもう踊り踊ったりしたら自分の健康になるような気がしますね。
Easy nomads, yeah. Yeah, I've always felt like whenever you get old and you start getting on like a bunch of medications, like you're starting a timer. You know? Like you're starting a timer, bro. Like that's the way I see it.
3つぐらい出ますよ。一番古いのだったらもう50年ぐらい続いてないから。お友達が集まってごやごや話したりするのがとっても楽しみ。もうやめないですよ。みんながね元気じゃないと自分もね長いこと元気でも面白くないさね。
I don't try to live as long as possible. It happens naturally because we all gather, laugh and cry together. And that's what's good. That's what we say.
That's it. That's really the way of life in Okinawa.
Damn, that's crazy. What the fuck?
Keep in mind that these are general rules, and some may find it harder to make connections than others due to being non-neurotypical or due to other circumstances within their lives. Sometimes, people that you try to connect with can just be plain rude. But at the end of...
Oh, people are fucking assholes sometimes. And like also like don't go tell yourself that you're neurodivergent just because you took a fucking questionnaire on Quora that told you that you're autistic. No, you're not fucking autistic. Like maybe you're just a little bit weird. Like just fucking stop like self-diagnosing yourself with mental disorders because you don't have a personality.
Of the day, there are many ways to combat loneliness. So the key is to realize...
Yeah, I took the Yahoo quiz and it says I'm a fucking schizo. So I guess I can't have any friends now.
How you're feeling and to find the best strategy for you alongside professional help. If you encounter someone showing symptoms of loneliness, don't ignore them. Reach out to people who might be lonely. Talk to them. If they need professional help, guide them in the right direction. It all comes down to how can you be of service to others? The gift of simply being there and truly listening can sometimes go a long way.
That's one factor a lot of people don't fucking understand is that if you want people to like you and you want people to be around you, listen to them and take an active interest in the things that they care about. And if you find like you're not able to care about the things that they care about, then you're maybe hanging out with the wrong people. Because like you'll be able to find people that you can interact with, you can talk to, you can listen to what they have to say, and it's not just fucking, oh my god, how long is this gonna take? Yeah, that's the thing, is like take an active, enthusiastic interest in the things that people tell you, and they'll want to be around you. It sounds like such an obvious fucking thing, but so many people struggle with it. The other guy's not touching on the real issue, that people have egos and they don't want to accept that they have a problem. Yeah, I think that's an issue too. You're right about that.
Go in with an open mind. Don't be quick to judge and try and practice understanding. Once we listen to others, they can be more open to listening to us.
Alright, thanks for this today.
Chronic loneliness is an unnatural
Thanks for
condition,
tuning
a
in.
state that we were not designed for. It leaves us empty and longing for
Have a good
connection
one.
and understanding. It's been slowly building since industrialization, accelerating in the 1960s and 70s.